Morning, everyone. Welcome to Trader TV Live. Futures all in negative territory, but we have PPI, Producer Price Index. Adara, do we have the numbers?
Yeah, they're all here, cooler than expected. So core PPI year over year, 3% versus 3. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this, versus 3.1% expected. So core PPI 3% versus 3.1 expected year over year. Core PPI month over month, 0.1% versus 0.3% expected. PPI year over year in line with estimates. So 2.6% versus 2.6% expected, and PPI month over month, 0.1% versus 0.2% expected. So like what we were seeing yesterday, the core numbers, both year over year and month over month, cooler than estimates, as was the month over month print. But the year over year, much like the CPI, still in line with estimates. Sharif, initial jobless claims here a little bit hotter than expected, 248,000 versus 242,000 expected.
We'll keep an eye on that as the jobless claims start ticking up, guys. Like I mentioned, everything starting out the day negative. The NQ, the ES, the Dow, and the Russell all decidedly 0.5% or more or negative. Bitcoin as well down 1.5%, with also oil down 1.75%. There's a lot to talk about today, guys. Obviously, the main headline is Boeing. Sadly, an Air India plane has crashed out, I believe, in Ahmedabad en route to London, and that has the Dow as well as Boeing stock decidedly negative on the day. Oracle also reporting yesterday, good report there. Tesla in focus, as well as GameStop. They issued an offering after the bell yesterday, and CoreWeave with a good headline here, guys. Lots to talk about today, Adara.
It was basically the offering show yesterday on the market recap. We had GameStop. We also had ORCL, Cloudflare, Macy's. If there was a company, it might have been doing an offering yesterday. Yeah, I think the Oracle earnings, though, certainly worth discussing. Very strong, and they're expecting even better going forward. AMD had a bit of a headline as well. Apparently, the information reporting that AMD and Cisco are being tapped by Saudi for a cloud project. So lots of headlines. We're going to have to see if they turn into trades, though.
All right, Obi in for Neil. He's a little under the weather today. Good morning, guys.
I like that we're both got the short sleeves. They both have the long sleeves.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, okay, well that was thank you, Randy. Here we go.
Now we're
Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but I did hear Darren mention that we both have long sleeves and they both have short sleeves on.
Yes, or the other way around. Yeah,
all right.
I guess, yeah, that's...
yeah, Neil's sick, so. All right, so yeah, and you know, shout out and prayers up. I mean, that's a sad situation again when, you know, we have this situation happening in Boeing. I think there's over 280 something passengers on board. So we, I don't know enough about it, but we hope for the best, but that's not a good sign. And Boeing's been, you know, had a really great move higher. And I just wonder if, obviously, today's move has nothing to do with the stock. You know, like it was working. It was looking to break out. You get to that 220 level, and then it's all the way to the downside. I probably won't be trading it today, but just wanted to, you know, acknowledge that and say, you know, we wish and, you know, basically pray for the best. But plane going down is never a good thing. And, you know, we all have families and stuff. And, you know, you hate to wake up to something like that. So that really did suck. So that's what the story is on Boeing. I just want to talk about it quickly. You know, I don't know. They keep on bringing these planes back and testing them and all of that, but it's still an issue. I mean, you think about it, there's thousands and thousands of flights every single day, you know, and it's just it's crazy. I mean, I feel the same way when I see like drunk driving stories and things like that. Like tragic. But today's Nasdaq is downside, right? Down 0.5%. There hasn't been many mornings where we've came in, Obi, and seen the market down anything, really. It seems like lately, every single day I'm taking out the sticky note and I'm just like, all right, what are we looking for longs today? Because all the stories seem to be pretty positive. And then, of course, yesterday, as Adara just brought out, you got GameStop raising, what was it, 1.75? What did they raise? Yeah, 1.75 billion right there to stay afloat, you know. Same thing with Oklo. Oklo's a little different because they're a success story and they got contract yesterday. These guys are bleeding money, like hemorrhaging. Like all of these nuclear plays are losing a lot of money. But the good thing about it is it's easy to stay afloat when you can use the capital markets. And when the stock price is what it's at right now, you can raise, what was it, 400 million? You can raise money easily when you're down here, it's tougher, right? As you're starting to move higher and higher and higher, you're raising capital so that you can put it back into the business and continue to grow. So I actually think, like, you know, for them to stay afloat, get more contracts, this is what we want until eventually they turn some profit. So right now the shares and everything is going to continue to fund operations, which is fine. That's the whole point of why you go public. And Oklo today falls right back into a decent level. If you still like the nuclear story, the talk about, you know, this morning all around here was, when's the next major world war? And I mean, if uranium and energy and all this stuff is going to be, and we talked about Iran, Iraq, all those kind of places, you know, building onshore in the United States, you know, their own power plants, nuclear power to support AI, to support military, to just build up, you know, your own sovereign power. I think these are great, right? And so I think SMR, although I did sell some SMR yesterday, I still think the valuation is huge. I think you wait, and if you like these names, Obi, I think you could buy them on days like today, where you get offerings in stocks that you like, let the market give you back 6%, and buy the name if you like it, and maybe use this bottom here as the bottom. 62.50, something like that. Maybe bring it back into 60. I mean, we're up 25% yesterday on this name. But uranium names continue to be hot, regardless of them being down a little bit here today. The whole market's starting to head downside. That PPI came out basically flat, and the market reacted to it that way. But we saw yesterday's, let's just call up the cues quickly here. We saw yesterday's Nasdaq action off the CPI number, and a tale of two stories, because this was the move up yesterday. So if we get something like that, I think the fade play is probably in again. They're moving throughout the morning. So we'll wait for that. I know you like to grab things on the backside there, Obi.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be something there if we can, and I as well, maybe more trading related for me, but
Yes.
Yeah, I like to maybe fade some kind of pops that we're seeing right now. And we kind of are getting one here in the market. So a little too early to be too excited right now about price action.
I mean,
with an hour to go, but yeah, Tempest AI.
Talking about that backside so early, Sean, you're getting me a little too excited. I'm definitely looking for a little bit of backside here.
And
backside just means, I guess, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the short side. It just means the other side of the move necessarily. But I think you pointed something important out on Boeing. It's just like, I was talking to Sharif about this as well. It's like, what's the probability that okay, yeah, we have thousands and thousands of flights. If something goes wrong, what's the probability of it being a Boeing?
Right.
I think it's pretty high.
It's like 90%.
So let's see if this is really going to be a continuation off of the open, or do we just kind of digest some of this? We know that Boeing's been on a nice comeback here, all the way back up since, again, we're going to talk about those April lows once again. But if you go up even higher, you can see that we've been kind of sideways consolidating. We know this name's been in a little bit of a downtrend over the past year or so. But yeah, coming back in and holding some of those prior highs. So the question now I'm asking is like, okay, sure, this flush has broken this trend. We talk about how we define a trend. However you're defining this trend from April to here, you've broken a few definitions of it. Sure, we're still holding above some of these structures as well. Let's see if we reclaim some of this structure, some prior highs and lows. But yeah, I'm going to see if the price action kind of dictates that this move is a little bit mispriced and a little bit fugazi coming in off of the open. That 200 level is pretty interesting as well. And yeah, Oracle is kind of the other one that I want to watch.
Yeah,
Oracle with some solid reaction to their earnings, a double beat here, a nice little push up. I got my anchored. Do I have my anchored here? No, not yet, not on this chart. So, but yeah, let's throw that anchored on real quick. Right there, that's sitting at 187 right now. That's kind of confluencing with that after hours consolidation low in and around that 187 as well. So yeah, let's see what we do with some of these pre-market and after hour levels on Oracle. Does that bid kind of step in? Higher time frame, let's go there real quick. Wow, yeah, market's really pulling up as of right now. But higher time frame, oh boy. Sean,
oh boy, what?
This is Oracle on a 3-hour chart. This is what we're pushing up into. 197.11s on the horizon. And if I'm not mistaken, those are probably all-time highs. So Oracle is poised for all-time highs as of right now, 197, only about 5 points away, well within its ATR. And its ATR I have here sitting at about 3.7 to 4 dollars right there. So yeah, well within range of attempting to test some of those all-time highs on Oracle. So I think not too much crazy news this morning. And I was talking to both Sharif and Nadera about this. Like, this is the kind of market where like a lot of the news is coming in intraday instead of kind of being reported maybe in the after hours or in the morning and being digested later on. It's just coming in intraday. A lot of strong moves. So I think sitting on your hands and waiting for some of those opportunities could be something to watch out for in this market. I think that's definitely partially how I'm going to be taking it here, other than obviously Oracle and Boeing, which are already kind of doing moves off of catalysts in the pre-market and after hours. But
yeah,
other than those two names, Sean, I really don't have anything too crazy on the watch. I do have other tickers as well. I think, yeah, Boeing, Tesla as well, obviously. UNH I like. ORCL, we know you were talking about some of those nuclear names as well. Let's see if those can continue the bid. Yesterday was quite a strong day. And yeah, let's see if there's continuation on day two, or do we get consolidation? IONQ was the other one we were talking about. And remember how we were like, oh, a little bit of a supply zone back to back here, 44s, 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 and a little bit of maybe of a demand zone down here in the low 40s, not as clear as some of the supply that's been coming in up here. So the question becomes, if we manage to get anywhere around here during the intraday, I definitely want to be a part of that. And right there, I'm going to throw it. You know what? I'll throw my alert in a little bit lower. I'll throw it in down here, 43. So we're ready for that 44 if and when that potentially comes in, as it has been for the past 3 days. You can see that maybe potentially right off of the open as well. So be patient. Those are the top names I'm kind of watching as of right now. Earnings day twos, maybe Chewy, but yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, no. Just the obvious names for me right now, as NVIDIA is down 1% against the market, that's basically flat. So I think there's something going on here. We just got to really heat it up with NVIDIA, like we saw with Tesla, and we'll talk about that as well. Came into some levels, and now it looks like we just want to slow down a little bit. Whoa. Oh, man, why do I always do that? Slow down a little bit here. So I think we'll be pulling down a little bit on NVIDIA, AMD. Some of the chip names are coming back in a little bit, because I feel like this China deal, although we keep on talking about it and Trump keeps tweeting about it and everything like that, Scott Bessent is not considering a quid pro quo deal with China in regards to rare earth minerals and chips. Like, there's just some back and forth here a little bit on all of this. Jensen, obviously, with NVIDIA, seems to be talking a lot about quantum, and that's nice, but I don't know. I'm going to try to fade this against yesterday's close, which was right here at 143. So for me, this is going to be a short idea today for NVIDIA, just only because the initial look to me is short. Like you mentioned, plays coming in throughout the evening, throughout the session, rather than the evening and overnight and into the morning time. I have NVIDIA short 143 right now as an idea. I don't know. I don't even know if we get there. And then, you know, Tesla, this 330 to me is pretty interesting, kind of where we tried to get to there off the close. And we had talked about that huge move that we expected from Tesla, and we got it there. And then we fell back in, right? And so all day yesterday we had fallen in. Then we got back up to 330, which I thought, you know, was a pretty key level. But that has faded again. So I'm thinking that, yeah, it looks like the shorts are a little more in play early on here, but I don't want to get too much tunnel vision, you know, because we have the news in our ear, and if anything changes, we're going to be doing that. Meta, Microsoft, I mean, all these, whatever, we can go talk about this forever, but all of these big cap names, Google looks great as well on a chart. I mean, I'm wondering if some of these pullbacks that we may be getting today are buying opportunities, and we should be looking long. Yeah. You know, why is NVIDIA down 1%? Why is Tesla down 1%? Maybe we can get some relative strength once this market opens up. We've seen the market just shoot like crazy right off the open on a name like, I mean, I didn't even look up Palantir here. That should be like a sin. There it is, 136 right now. This name, again, down 0.4. Like, are these buying opportunities? Palantir always has itself a nice little run in the morning, either one way or the other. Yesterday, we touched down to 133, and then it was, an hour later, you're at 140 at all-time highs easily. You know, so like, there you go. There's the move that you're talking about, right? Like anything can happen and you just want to make sure you're caught the right side of it. So that for me is what we're going to be looking at here today, waiting to see what that early kind of first 15-minute feel in the market is. And then we'll get a little more aggressive and try to put something on that we really think. So yeah, for right now, I'm just looking at Oracle long. I really like that play. And I think Oklo long as well at some point. But all right, it's been over here way too long. Let's go back over to the desk. It's 8:45.
All right, we've got Steve Gomez. We'll bring him in 1 second, but we have a Micron headline here, Adara. They're investing about $200 billion in U.S. manufacturing, or looking to invest, $200 billion in the American economy. What's the look there?
And this is not a report, guys. The company announced this themselves, so I think that's worth noting. This is going to be, I guess, for semiconductor manufacturing and research and development. Idaho, New York, and Virginia are their locations. They're also looking to build a memory manufacturing fab here in Idaho and expand their Virginia fab. So very detailed plans here for their $200 billion investment in the U.S. We know Trump's been encouraging this from companies, so not a bad look at all for Micron.
Great, yeah. All right, let's bring in Steve if he's ready. Good morning, Steve. How are you? Of Trade Ideas. Obviously, a lot of volatility now that we've got Donald Trump back at the helm. That's causing a lot of intraday volatility, and some of that causes some short squeeze. I think we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, I got to go off script just for a second. The reason Oklo, SMR, and NNE are I'm pounding the table bullish on these is because of what you just reported. All right, we are bringing manufacturing back to the U.S., and Trump is guaranteeing them a fast track for energy. And these nano-nuclear modular devices, I think, are going to be the solution. So that's why I think they're so bullish. Yeah, let's talk about short squeezes. I've got some discussions on short squeezing. And for newer traders, if you don't understand what I'm saying by short squeeze, you got to understand for a short seller to get out of their position and stop the pain if they're losing, they have to buy. And they're competing with buying with other buyers who want to go long. So that creates a perfect storm of buying, and that's what we call a short squeeze. Now, there's a right time and a wrong time to play short squeezes, that is. And I think right now is one of the right times, and I'll get to that. But the reason I think it is there's many types of markets. We've got bull markets, we've got bear markets, we've got buy the dips, we've got sell the rips, we've got sector rotations, what have you. There's a right time and a wrong time to try and pick on these shorts for a squeeze. A bear market is definitely not the right time to do that. But I'm going to maintain that we have just recovered one of the fastest V-shaped recoveries in history, if I read that correctly. And that's extremely bullish, in the bigger picture. So I feel like there still might be a lot of shorts trapped that have not covered their shorts, and they're just kind of, watching this market wondering, am I going to get a pullback to get out, or am I just going to get blown out and run for the fire exits with everybody else during what we would call a short squeeze? So what I want to start off by saying is just because we can play short squeeze, it doesn't mean jump into the highest names with the most short float. In my opinion, 20% or higher is going to be the minimum I work with. That would be 20%, that is, of the circulated shares in trading circulation are held by short sellers. And we can quantify that 2 times a month. And the last reading we got, I think, was at the end of May for a lot of these names that we're going to talk about. But we don't just want to jump into the names with the highest short float. They might be in a horrible downtrend. There's probably a very good reason why there's a lot of shorts in there. But every now and then we can try and take that giant block of marble and chisel it down and use trade ideas to find things that might be more interesting to us as long players that got short sellers on the run. And what I mean by that is we're going to start here with this raw data slide. We've got and this is why I think there's a lot of short sellers trapped. I've never seen this many names of 20% or higher short the float. And there's probably a few more on there that I didn't include. But that's a lot of names. And, how do we just go in there and figure out which one do we want to try to exploit for a possible squeeze? Well, the darker shade colors at the top, these are sorted by short float. So the darker greens, there's some gems in there. And stay tuned because I've got a gem that we're going to pick on at the end of this segment here that I think we need to watch for today. But we start with this, like I said, a block of marble, and we chisel it down from there. So we could go to just the basic, tree map, we call this. This is just kind of like a heat map. We call it a tree map here at Trade Ideas. And this was yesterday. You can see the quant stocks on there. You can see SMR on there. These are names that are moving and have high short floats, and they're still trying to work those names off. But I don't want to really turn a scan like this loose on a new trader because they'll just kind of pull it up and go, oh, Qubit, let me buy it. And they start chasing. And chasing is the worst thing I teach to any new trader. It's the most obvious thing new traders want to do. They see action, they see green, they want to jump in and they want to participate, only to find out that they're the last one holding the bag for the next hour of pullback. So, you can use these types of scans for a good watch list, but, keep an eye on your entry. Do not be chasing these types of entries. But what I want to suggest is adding a new layer, and this is where it gets really interesting. A lot of you are probably familiar with the Investors Business Daily strength rating or their composite rating. Well, we built a composite rating here as well. We call it the stock composite rating, or SCORE for an acronym. And if we layer in a stock composite rating or a score on these, we can start to find some situations that might be scary if you're a short seller. And what I mean by that is, let's look at the score. The score is about 7 or 8 technical points, moving averages, position and range, trending, things like that. But it also takes into consideration fundamental analysis, debt to income ratio, other typical fundamental points. So you've got all those together creating a score. And that first slide I showed you had no score, but this slide here, I'm calling it pain because I put a minimum of 80%. Now, if you look at the old college bell curve days, 80% and higher, those are your B plus A students. Based on a score rating of fundamental and technical analysis, these are stocks that are in uptrends. They're probably above their moving averages. These are the stocks I would be scared to death to be sitting in if I was short. And we're going to just call this pain because these are the ones that are most likely to be spooked. If I'm sitting short in a downtrend, I'm feeling pretty safe. But if I'm sitting short in a stock that has a lot of other short sellers and we're all kind of watching each other, waiting for the smoke in the movie theater to start to appear, I don't want to be the last one running to the exits. So if we can exploit that for a long trader, this pain score, and by the way, if you want a copy of this, feel free to email us and I can send you the scan. But it's a tinderbox. These are stocks that are just setting up and looking really juicy in terms of technical analysis. And of course, the score giving the underpinnings of the probability of this thing. In other words, what are these short sellers missing that everybody else is seeing? And so those are the best opportunities, I think. And all you have to do from here is just set a couple of price alerts. And a price alert is just a simple line below the line in the sand that says, hey, if this price does move up through, I've already done my homework and I know I want to be participating in this for a possible short squeeze. This here is just 2 examples from yesterday. Once again, quantum stock and nanonuclear. Which happen to have high short floats. Yeah, you can see that. And the 80% score in SMR, though, that one was painful if you were short yesterday. So let's go on to what I'm seeing here today. I am seeing a setup in Groupon. That's right, Groupon. Great story. We're in a tough economy. Why wouldn't people want to save money? This thing has a score of 88. And it's still short almost, 37%? I double-checked FinViz and others just to double-check. That short float is correct. Look at the sideways, 1 week sideways action. You're not getting a pullback. They got one little fake out pullback, and then it popped back up. I put a blue line there above the highs. I'm going to be watching Groupon today for a possible short squeeze. If we get it, I'll likely participate. But that's how I like to narrow down using the incredible amount of short data we have into 1 or 2 or 3 simple little possible setups. And I'm not jumping in and anticipating. I'm just setting up a line in the sand saying if it triggers, I know I'm going to be ready to participate. Lastly, just a quick reminder, we do have a summer sale at Trade Ideas, summer 25% off first month or first year. So I noticed you guys use our Trade Ideas charts, and we always like that.
Steve, thanks for coming on. Great information there, especially with that score rating. I don't think a lot of our viewers knew that Trade Ideas offered that. That's a hell of a look there. And I really like your focus there about, sitting in a short position on a downtrend and, having sort of the tailwind behind you, but, trying to buck the trend there could get you into some trouble. I think you put some metrics out there to help a lot of people. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Good luck, guys. Get better up there.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, good little
Always
look
trying to get
there.
a little bit better.
Yeah, get better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that.
1%
I like
every
that.
day.
Just get better.
Just get
Obi,
good.
Obi, get better.
I'll get good. That's that's a gaming term. I don't know if you know. Like get good.
Get good?
Get good.
I don't know. I just know GG.
Yeah, GG's works as well.
Interesting name when there with Groupon. Actually, we talked about this, I think it was last week, and I was like, Groupon still exists? And it was, or maybe not last week, it must have been on this day right there. But yeah, and I thank Steve for bringing this to our attention, and go check out Trade Ideas. I mean, some of those scanners are great, and we use their charting on the recap show, which has been great for us as well. But yeah, I look at this and it's like, wow, just extending again, and now looking to break through this $33. I don't know if I'm thinking about like everyone wants to save money, therefore they're going to Groupon. But I mean, you got to have a rationale for all of these things, and that's not a horrible one. It's more to me about that short float. I mean, at 37%, looking to break out, you're like another good story away, I guess, from this thing really starting to pop. So thanks for bringing that to our attention. 33.50, 33 bucks even maybe is a pop level right there as well. So we'll see if Groupon can get going today. Only 800 shares right now, so a little misleading on what we're doing here with Groupon. But yeah, interesting name there. And I think that's what we use AI, technology, all that kind of stuff for, is to build new studies, give us humans, hopefully, as we'll talk up human. I mean, I only trade with my hands, so I got to talk up the human game here a little bit. Is to get ideas and then put them into play somehow, right? We talked about waiting for ideal setups, and if you're a trader, like you mentioned, Steve mentioned SMR yesterday, it would have been sucked. Like to be short that, you're kind of stuck there until it unwinds. So sometimes you like being in names that are trapped, especially when you're the right way. So Groupon could be another one of those names. And again, just what Steve's talking about is what we talked about for about 10 minutes there as well. Just the technology with this. With nuclear, and that's what I was saying, building things stateside, having the power within, you talked about the Golden Dome, things like that, just protecting your nation, getting some, not being dependent on, like when Ontario threatened to cut power into Northeast, that's something that they could actually do. Canada and US, if we had that little tit for tat stuff, that's not good, right? So it's just like you want to make sure that you're protecting everything. Oklo being a U.S. company, SMR, which is NewScale, definitely something to look at. And then I think I actually prefer, here, how about this one? Would you rather invest in a nuclear name now, and you don't have to pick one, that's not the game, or quantum?
I'd go with nuclear.
Right now, nuclear versus quantum space. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Because nuclear is probably going to be the basis of powering the quantum technologies.
Right.
Because it's like without.
So go with like the picks and shovels rather than
exactly. Without the effective power generation, I don't think quantum can really go to where we're looking for it to go. And I think that nuclear, like figuring out that equation of how do we effectively produce that energy through nuclear and then feed that into the systems that require that kind of energy is definitely going to be. I would say I would go with the nuclear.
Is nuclear popular now until there's potentially an accident?
Sure. I'm sure there's going to be.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be at the same extent as what we've seen, but.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it'll be that crazy. And I think it goes to show again, like a great example of this is I recently saw this video of Elon's SpaceX rockets.
Right.
How they initially used to launch, and then there was a lot of failures. There was a lot of testing.
And now they catch them in midair.
Now they catch them in midair. So it's like you need to be, and it goes back to trading as well. You need to be able to fail really well. To figure it out. Iron out all the kinks, and then you definitely will have that. But I'm sure we're going to see market fluctuations when things fail. And
I just can't believe some of these names like that. Oklo was $4 like less than a year ago. Now we're at $65. Like there's just different things like this. And SMR is another example. $2-3 up to $40 right now.
Amazing story.
It's an amazing story. That is for sure. So, okay, it's 9 o'clock. There's our free watch list. Make sure you do scan that to go grab it immediately and join the party with us here as we talk about all the rundowns that we're looking for here. Lots of stuff on the watch list today. Some broad ideas, some narrowed in. We have Chime IPO coming later on today. I've got Voyager on here as well for the stick. We're looking for some good things here today in the market, even though actually the market's kind of holding up. right now. We kind of got barcoded here in the Nasdaq, but a nice move higher off of some of those inline PPI numbers. So that's good. But we saw, you know, better than expected CPI yesterday, cooler than expected, and we
Reverted the whole
basically tanked. Pretty much. I don't want to say
beautiful reversion.
I feel like we misuse that word tank a lot, but yeah, went down the rest of the day. So. Okay, let's go back over the desk as we said and start the show.
60.29, guys. That's where we close out yesterday on the ES June contract. We are marginally negative, down a quarter point, but still above that key 6,000 point technical area. So the overnight high, 60.32. We did move all the way up in about 60.60 yesterday at the high. We are with the overnight low being 59.87. So we're going to use 6,000 as support, and we're going to use the overnight high, 60.32 Adara, as resistance. All right, guys, make sure to get the watch list every morning. It's sent directly right into your inbox. Adara prepares it, and we all use it. It helps you organize your day, lets you know what's running, and how to categorize the more important movers versus the less important names. Let's start off with Boeing here, down to the tune of 5%. Sadly, it is being reported right now that all the passengers on the Air India crash in Ahmedabad have passed away. Sadly, 242 passengers and crew on board. Fatalities being confirmed. Morgan Stanley taking to the airwaves right now and basically outlining the different scenarios that Boeing can go through, with the worst case scenario being obviously something to do with the airplane. Best case scenario for Boeing, that is, of course, is that it is some sort of pilot error. Any more you can tell us about this, Adara?
I can tell you guys a bit more. So it was a 787 Dreamliner. I believe it was acquired, I guess, by India Air as of 2014, so about 11-year-old plane. Now, I want to talk about some of the sympathy plays here as well, because GE Aerospace, which ticker GE, and Spirit Aerosystems, SPR, both on watch here. Here's GE Aerospace bouncing actually quite nicely off of these lows. So their engine, the GE NX-1B, actually powers the 787 Dreamliner. Then, of course, SPR, they are just in general a Boeing manufacturer, a supplier of parts. So this one also on watch here. SPR, though, much less volume than GE or BA today.
All right, guys. Boeing momentarily dipped below 200, trying to work its way back now. What's the look?
It doesn't even seem like the stock's reacting that much to it. I mean, I thought it would probably, we would be looking lower and we wouldn't have this rally back. But then I never, you know, you always think, oh my God, Boeing, oh my God, like what have they done, right? But then Sharif just mentioned something that I think is probably more likely than not, maybe it's the pilot error. And if you can somehow figure that out, then Boeing just goes right back to where it needs to be, right? I mean, you can make a car, but it doesn't mean that the driver of it has any idea what they're doing. And obviously, you know, a pilot is much more vetted than a Joe Blow driving a car. So that's probably not a good example. But as I see this starting to come back up and as more stories get leaked and more news, I mean, obviously, you know, we'll have our ear to the ground on if they ever determine. And I guess they got to get the black box and all this kind of stuff to figure it all out. I actually don't know. I actually look out to the audience and try to figure out, like, where, you know, when are the expected details to come from this. It's obviously very sad when we hear everybody has passed. And so we just say, you know, like I said, prayers to all the families. And I don't really think I'll be trading Boeing today, just because not really feeling trading a name like this when something like this happens. I know we're supposed to be like agnostic to, you know, those kind of feelings and stuff, but, you know, I'm not, I would just say let the dust settle. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of an earnings idea, and not to equate one to the other, but it's just you're down 5%, and I don't really know the next move. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Like, if it does come out that, okay, maybe the pilot had some sort of a heart attack, like, I don't know. But to me, a lot of these planes are supposed to be able to fly sort of autonomously and things like that. So I do think that it probably was a malfunction of something, but that's just me sitting here having absolutely no idea about anything. So I would say for Boeing, if you wanted me to talk about it, I would just think, just by playing on support and resistance, I think you have a $2 window here between 198 and 196 that you can get creative and look for dip buys. I do think it will flush off the open when big money comes in and says, you know what, let's not worry about asking questions. Let's just get out of our position right here, especially if you can get at 205. I mean, we were at 205 last week, you know, so right now you can get out of your position. Like, look how much you know, you've gained out of this trade over the last 6 months or the last 2 months. And even if you go all the way back and you were buying these dips, you know, you had a huge recovery. If you take this story away, Boeing getting out of something, and this is what I was saying before, getting out of something near this top, actually, you know, you have clusters here where it kind of makes sense to think that, hey, there is supply in this area, as to take a word from Obi that he had mentioned yesterday. I forget what stock it was, but, you know, this isn't a horrible area anyways. So, pardon the news, but that, you know, the sell might have been there anyways. I don't know. I would just look to dip buy into levels that have been supported before, and then ear to the ground. If we get news that, you know, pilot error, then I think we can go long. If you get news that, yeah, the plane sort of was at fault, then I think you can go short. But for right now, you're kind of stuck in the middle without many ideas other than what we've already seen. So
yeah, I think that, again, I'm reading the chat as well. Everyone's kind of chiming in about, you know, their thoughts and their opinions on the matter and who's at fault. Guess what? To me, I'm just here to trade. I really you know, got to be. I think someone mentioned it in the chat. Just got to be cold as ice. Does not matter. All that matters to me is the price action. Let's see what the chart is telling us. 195.50, a little bit of a base. Take a look at this expanding volume in the pre-market. You can see since the 4 a.m. open and since we got that flush down into 195s. Volume's only been expanding, as well as relative volume as well going into the open, and we're starting to curl as well. So that's information to me. I'm looking at this and 195.50 as a little bit of a base if we're getting expanding volume all into the breakout of that base. Right, so right off the bat, we're trading around 200. Yesterday's closing price all the way at 214s, 213s-ish. So I don't know if we're going to get all the way back there, but if we do continue to revert the move like we have been in the pre-market, I think yesterday's price ranges are definitely something to watch out for. But that's about a 10-point run, and let me just pull up my calculator here and see what my ATR for Boeing is coming up as. So I have about a 4.75, so almost a $5 ATR on Boeing. So yeah, that's over $10 away. So maybe catalyst-driven volume could definitely take us there, but I'm going to be patient. I'm going to watch, and I think Sean's definitely right. Going to a higher time frame. At the end of the day, sure, you can be like, oh, we sold off because of this, we sold off because of that. But if there's supply in the area, I feel like sometimes it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You just need volume for that supply to kind of start interacting with the markets again. And yeah, a catalyst or news can definitely bring in some strong volume, as we're seeing in the pre-market as of right now. A little bit of a trend break like we spoke on before. But yeah, let's see. I'm going to stay open-minded. The pre-market has defined some levels for us. Let's see what price action does with those levels off the open. And yeah, that's all I'm really kind of going to be watching for, nothing else on Boeing.
Guys, talk a little Oracle here. What a report after the bell yesterday. Already up aggressively here to the tune of almost 8 2/3%. Let's talk about how they did on the report. Adjusted EPS coming in higher than expected, $1.70. The street was looking for $1.64. Likewise with revenue, $15.9 billion on the quarter. The street was looking for a little bit less than 15.6. Revenue grew 11% year over year. Net income, their take-home money, guys, $3.43 billion, also higher than the $3.14 that they printed on the year. Not a bad look here, Adara, and Larry Ellison described the current cloud demand as insatiable. He can't catch up with all the demand, and he says there's an unnamed client that maxed out his available capacity.
Yeah, certain current CEO here as well, Safra Catz, speaking positively too about the company. They only missed, from what I'm seeing on estimates, on one metric, cloud infrastructure, $3 billion in revenue versus $3.07 billion expected. But that's still up 52% year over year, Sharif. So investors could not be too upset about that. It's also worth noting their guidance going forward too. They're guiding fiscal 2026 cloud revenue growth of over 40% versus 24% growth in fiscal 2025. So same with their cloud infrastructure growth. They want it over 70% for fiscal 2025. As you can see here, analysts across the board raising their price targets to this in the range of 220 plus.
All right, boys, 8.5%. What's the move here?
Boy, I think
just get long yesterday afternoon. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Come on, man. You don't have that
Oracle
that ability to do that. You're not an Oracle there for that one. But yeah, you probably have some good levels. I mean, you talked about it breaking through all-time highs. Looks like we're going to do that, or are doing that. But generally that can be a fade spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it false breaks. Because the thing is, like, again, going back to the same point you just said, there was supply there last time. So if we don't effectively break out through the all-time highs and sustain, which way are we going to go? Either sideways or down? I have no idea. But if supply starts coming into it again, I'm more than willing to participate on that. But yeah.
You want to go over your chart? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Again, shout out to Brian Shannon. Got to throw up that anchored VWAP there. That's it right there off of that volume spike. And that's coming in at 187. And we can see that, yes, it's definitely in an uptrend. We're sustaining after hour levels. We've stepped up on top of those after hour levels in the pre-market, holding that 190 now. So that's nice. I like it when the bid steps up and it's showing us strength. Pre-market high currently at 193.30, and then that anchored VWAP 187. So I'm watching some of those levels here. But yeah, at the end of the day, let's see if buyers continue to stay involved on the stock. And I'm just going to try to execute it as effectively as possible if I am looking for that continuation, potentially looking to accumulate inventory to take through those all-time highs.
Yep, no, exactly. I think you want to look long, right? A little bit higher than expected move here on Oracle, up 8%. I think that's a great move for this name. I mean, if we're going to look to see what kind of a move it's had over the last little while. I mean, there's basically no red candles, and today you don't get any reason to sell. So I would say it's a long, and we just look to see some potential areas. You know, this last pullback right into here is like 187, these tops that we ticked up to sort of where we are right now. This last earnings day right here on January 22nd, this is what makes me, that wasn't the last one, but this is what makes me nervous, is that little move up, because we had seen it before and then we closed red and then we had this move, right? And so for me right into here, we got to watch out for this little tick up because it's matching where we are right here. So we talked about overhead supply, great report, great number. But if we just come back into this level, that's 186, 187. And then, you know, we look to see, you know, where there could possibly be some support just on a 1 minute chart. You drop the anchor. What was that anchor level at right there?
187.30.
187.30. So without me dropping an anchor right there, it's matching the 200 period. It's matching this little drop. That's 188, 188.30. Look, if you're going to take Oracle and you're going to stop out for $1, not right. You're going to have to use more shares, give this a little bit of room, because I could wait to see what's going on with this little jump spot here, 185 to 187. But I think this is a good area, man, 187 to 188 for Oracle. I mean, it lines up with your anchor. It lines up with the 200 period, and it lines up with that daily chart. So Oracle on the double B, Larry Ellison, one of the smartest guys here, has been around, CEO 35 years, something like that. This guy knows what he's doing, and Larry Ellison and Oracle, obviously, if they have more demand than they can shake a stick at, that's kind of the company that I'm looking to invest in. Thankfully, we are invested in Oracle. So, yeah, it's been a good one there. And, yeah, let's just keep the good vibes on Oracle. Again, not really certain what this market wants to do. I mean, the Nasdaq is doing its own thing, and Oracle's doing something completely different. So if you're looking for a name, and some of the names I'm going to have on this, you know, it's going to be out in a second, are Apple, you know, NVIDIA. Those names are going to sort of try to follow the market a little bit on no news. But with Oracle actually having a story and a positive one, if this market just holds flat or maybe even gets back to green, I think Oracle's your winner today and something you want to look at. So, you know, congratulations to all those longs. Oracle continues to work out in a good way here. So, yeah, great dip buy there in the 130, 120.
Lots of confluence.
Yeah, it's confluencing with OBs in our minds here today, so that can be a dangerous thing. Sometimes you do get groupthink where everyone's thinking one way, and then it's like, whoops.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes that could even, if you're patient, that could provide you with an even better trading opportunity, because you're like, I was thinking that, and you can go one level deeper and be like, well, I was thinking that, and then I was wrong. So who's really offside, and where's the opportunity there?
Larry Ellison is one of the richest men in the world.
Oh boy!
Just because of all the stock and how much it's appreciated. So you know, these guys, we give Jensen a lot of credit, but this guy also is doing something with Oracle. So, all right, let's go back over. There's more stories here. There's apparently, look at the names that are on here next. Yeah. I mean, if this is not a trader's market right now, I mean, GameStop, CoreWeave, and Google, right? Circle, we'll probably talk about that a little bit today. And then the Chime IPO. I'm looking at Voyager as well. There's lots of stuff happening. Let's go find out more.
GameStop, guys, down almost 17% here after this, a $1.75 billion offering. Here's the interesting part, though. They're going to be due in 2032, but they're not paying any interest on it. And that you think that may dissuade investors from getting involved. But when you look a little further here, they're giving their debtors an option to purchase about $250 million more of debt with a 13-day period after the notes were issued. You know, Wedbush analyst Michael Patcher criticized the move, saying it's hard to justify GME's valuation, given it trades at 2 times over cash value. And they're saying that this $1.75 billion is going to be used for general corporate purposes. I have my suspicions.
I think I know what purpose is going to be, and I think Michael Saylor of Strategy might have given Ryan Cohen this idea. It seems like it could be for Bitcoin purchases. We know the company has just over 4,700 Bitcoin on their balance sheet as of their earnings report, which they released there on June 10th. That would be after the close there on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what happens here, but I think they're definitely trying to get aggressive with this crypto strategy. And it's interesting, too, that they're doing these notes because they have $6.4 billion cash on hand as of the end of the quarter. So I expect we're going to get a lot more of these announcements from GME going forward, Sharif.
All right, guys, we lost that $30 level that Bitcoin had been holding for, a couple of months or so. What's the look here?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's. I feel like it's still kind of chopping around. It's still holding that 100K mark pretty well.
We haven't tested 100K in a minute, so
yeah.
We'll have to wait to see.
GME is. I guess they did a bit of an offering overnight. I think you said it was over 1-point-something billion. But yeah, a little bit of a flush down, but you can see a little bit of a continuation of what's already been happening. We got that crazy flush there on Wednesday, May 28th. Bit of a sideways consolidation and then drop down. You guys know I like my anchoreds there as well. You can see that anchored kind of following through and holding, kind of showing us who's in charge, but kind of dropping back into some of this range from early in April. Again, a lot of stocks kind of had bottomed out in and around that April bottom, and it seems like we were poised to come in and potentially test some of those reference lows here. That's coming in at $20.51 here on GME. And yeah, strong continuation after this strong flush as well. A bit of consolidation, couldn't quite make it, and then another drop down again on news of an offering as well. So let's see if GME continues. I have eyes on it, not necessarily my top idea on the day, but the offering, I guess, is nice if you were sitting short. I think for good reason as well. But yeah, coming into some of these prior levels should be interesting around $20.
Yeah, look, it's interesting because again, we talk about these offerings, and if you like the stock, then they're raising money against their equity, and it sucks. They've done it. I don't want to. I mean, there's a lot of people that probably are looking at GameStop. They've done this many times before, and I should have, before we came on and I started talking like this, I think that pretty much all of these dumps here have been some sort of an offering of some extent. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's not going to be every single one of these, but this is not the first one. I could ask Gemini or something right now. I'm using Gemini more now, by the way. Really? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so anyways, pulling back in there, I think all you want to do now is say long. If you like the Bitcoin story, they bought 4,700 of them. Maybe they're out of the money on them. I don't know. And now they're going to put some more money in there. So it was what we're thinking, right? So if you like that kind of an idea, they had a strong EPS. Their EPS beat. Their sales were down. They're getting more efficient if their sales are down, but yet they have a higher EPS than even the street expected and a higher EPS than last quarter. They're getting more efficient. I don't really know. I mean, they were getting into the collectible game. I know Pokemon and the Nintendo Switch 2 is now out, and people still line up. I still see lineups at the GME by my house there.
Someone in the chat saying GME is a teenager's pawn shop.
Right.
That's
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's fine.
You can go in, trade your games for money.
But isn't all this new Switch games I heard were all
just on
all electronic downloads, like all online? Yeah. So I don't know if GameStop participates in that. I would say they don't.
They could still sell the code.
The code.
You know what
no one cares about the code.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can go and get like the gift cards that are for a game.
Like the game code to instead of buying.
Yeah. So I guess that's good for gifts and.
Yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking, I think if it's going to be a download. Anyways, I think we saw this yesterday. Game float stops. GameStop's float on the short side was about 12.5% or so. I could see a squeeze here as people say, okay, we've raised the money now, the price is down here, and we want to go long on GameStop. We want to be long this name. Well, there's only one way to be long a name, and that is by buying it. So unless traders come in and sell this news, it kind of seems like they already did, then we're playing limbo, and the question is, how low can you go? And I think we're here already. We've bounced off this 2350 area. You know, I traded GameStop yesterday long 2850, and that was a positive name for me. Kind of sucks to be down $5, but if you don't mind the story, then GameStop down here looks mighty fine to me, man. We've only spent in the last year, when is this? This is not the last year. This goes back to November. But since November, we've only spent 6 days there, 7, 8, 9, maybe a handful of days underneath 2350 in the last 9 months. So you're here now, 9 days underneath 2350 in the last 8 to 9 months. I think it's a buy, and you'll hold out for 23 break. If it breaks 23, then you throw your hands up in the air, and you get away from that stock. So yeah, that's me on GameStop. Probably looking for it today around that area.
Looks like CoreWeave, guys, will supply computing capacity to Google, Google's cloud unit, which Alphabet is transferring to OpenAI as part of the new deal that they're striking here. The move aims to support surging demand for AI services like obviously ChatGPT. Google could also provide some of its own resources to Sam Altman in OpenAI, which is obviously a direct competitor with their Gemini 2.5 now, Adara. So interesting look here. It's about an $11.9 billion contract that CoreWeave has with OpenAI.
This is also a continuation of a story from Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, we saw Google, big spike, basically. That was Reuters reporting that there was going to be this deal with Google trying to provide some cloud compute to OpenAI. Now we have the CoreWeave aspect of this. Apparently, they're going to be providing the capacity to Google's cloud to give them, and then Google's going to be forwarding that over to OpenAI. So I think the Google connection plus CoreWeave's existing connection to OpenAI, as you mentioned, this seems like a win-win for CoreWeave.
Absolutely, and CoreWeave's revenue has really exploded here, guys, in the last little bit. The Q1 revenue grew about 420% year over year. They ended the quarter with a staggering almost $26 billion in revenue backlog, the demand that they couldn't fill because they didn't have the chips and the capacity to dare. So a robust future demand here for CoreWeave, boys.
Yeah, we're looking at the daily chart here on CoreWeave, and Obi has it up.
Yeah.
Pretty constructive, pretty great. I mean, just following the trend all the way to the upside there, and now good news with Google as they keep everything again. It was you, or was it Sharif, that mentioned that President Trump had said that they want to do all the deals, you know, American companies with American companies and keep all the love inside. So right there, looks like CoreWeave. Why don't you talk about that chart? I can look at Google.
Sure, yeah. I think CoreWeave pretty solid. Interesting action yesterday, though. You can see that, yeah, beautiful chart since the IPO. Nice little curl up. But it seems like we're doing a little bit more of what we did here on the way up. A little bit of a stair-step consolidation that we're getting. We get that heavy pullback coming in. I guess this was Thursday, June 5th. Making a higher low on top of prior structure, holding prior structure, and kind of consolidating now, maybe building into a bit of a flag. You can see that yesterday we tested those, I guess, all-time highs there. And yeah, we talk about supply and demand. There was a little bit of supply there that was shown before, and a little bit maybe once again yesterday. Let's see. I think it's building up for a nice little break here. If we're going to continue that higher time frame picture, we're getting those higher lows building up into this potential break. 166.63s is the high. Yesterday's high is sitting at 166. You can see how heavily that volume came in. But guess what? We reverted about 50% of that going into the after hours, and we're sitting in and around some of those levels. So with this catalyst, along with Google, whenever a relatively new or a smaller company gets a deal with one of the Mag 7s, I definitely like it for a potential look there. And yeah, CoreWeave coming in with a deal with Google. Let's see if we can build into that 166 in any sort of meaningful way today. That's what I'll be watching on CoreWeave.
There's some talk. There's a lot of talk actually in the chat about where's the sticky note at. Well, if you go over to my, we're posting them up here every single day on Instagram. as well. So you could definitely go check them on Instagram. It's not out yet. It'll be out in a second on Instagram. But it's also out immediately as we're on the show here on Twitter. So it's every day I put it out on here on X. So if you have an account right now, NVIDIA, I mean, it's a little bit of a different format today. I have some, a little bit more writing here about the market, and then what I'm watching with some ideas, right? So the Chime is a fintech IPO. We're going to get to that in a minute. Voyager's on here as well, 62 long, NVIDIA short, and Apple short. So we have some ideas on here. You can go find it and why I think that, and some of the names that I'm going to be watching are on here. So if you guys, I know, Bears versus Bulls taking some time off right now, so he was not going to be posting it up, but, we're spoon feeding that to you right there again in the chat. So just go look for it if you want some ideas and what I'm looking for. I mean, I'll often trade many other names, but that's what we're looking for right now. How about this 178 for Google? I mean, yesterday, the whole market did this, so I don't, nothing worries me about Google here. It seems to have been really nice break through that 170. That 160 was the good break, and then right into here, 175 seems to want to hold. I think we're going to test that there today. I think Google and the market goes a little lower. That, we're not really holding up here with any real volume. I think we could slip underneath, especially with only 4 minutes to go. I'm looking at this 178. I don't think we get there, but if we do, we tried there at noon. We tried again at 3, and both times failed pretty good. So anything around 178, I think, is a good short. Just using yesterday's closing area, you'd be looking at 177. So if I were to be a little more rough with the idea, I'd give it that dollar, 177 to 178. That's where you build the short position, and then you close your eyes and open them around 3 p.m. and hopefully you're in the money, because Google and the Nasdaq and a lot of these names that have been really high flyers, I just think today there's a little bit of a feel in this market that we're going lower. Despite the market kind of being flat here. I don't know, man. We have this great deal with China. I'm not hearing anything from China, really, and the market's not reacting the way I thought it would. If anything, we're fading off of the Nasdaq high. So I could see a short happening today. I don't think it's going to be short for very long, but today I'm short on Google, I would think.
All right, guys, Chime, CHYM will be the ticker when this one IPOs today, likely during the midday. So make sure to catch that with Joseph and I. Here are the details on it. The IPO price is $27 a share. We'll see what it actually opens at. Those are two different things. The value of the company at $11.6 billion, but that is a marked reduction from their private market valuation back in 2021 when this one was valued at more than $25 billion. It's one of the first major fintech IPOs after a multi-year freeze. We got Webull, we got eToro, Circle as well. The fintech company raised about $700 million in new capital with a possible $165 million more in secondary shares sold to existing investors. And just to give you an idea who's underwriting this, we got some of the heavyweights here: Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase. Adara, any more you can tell us on this one?
Yeah, so 32 million shares getting offered. Let's talk a little bit about their actual business now. We mentioned they're a fintech, but what do they do? Well, they're actually competing in the same kind of spaces as names like PayPal, Square, and SoFi. This is the logo. So they offer no-fee banking services, debit cards, and early paycheck access. Apparently, most of their revenue comes from interchange fees. But what about that revenue? So last quarter revenue was up 32% year over year, Sharif, to reach $518.7 million. But their net income actually narrowed on a year-over-year basis. So let's wait and see how this IPO is received.
All right, guys, yet another IPO. We had Voyager today. It's IPO season, baby.
I mean, no, it is what it is, right? Yesterday I got screwed. Screwed was a tough word. I didn't get hit that bad on this. We lost about 5% of what we made. Okay, the market started to move around a little bit here. I just saw some movements, but I like Voyager breaking $62 right there. Let's see if we could do that today. There's $62. I already have the order to go in. If we break 62, I'm long Voyager, definitely. And I'm definitely going to be long Chime, CHYM. This is a fintech play. I know fintech plays off IPOs. you know, they go well and then they fade. Like we saw that with Robinhood and SoFi and Coinbase, and some of the more recent ones, Block and which is Square, PayPal, haven't been that great. But right now, it's blocked in our system. There's actually no information right now on this. We'll wait to see if there's anything on the imbalance locator for Chime. And you asked me the other day, or this morning, what did the imbalance look like for Voyager yesterday? There it is right here, right now. It was a bid all the way. The only problem with this name yesterday is this. It did not look like the rest. I wound up losing, I think it was, anyways, it's tough to talk about numbers around here. You guys know why. We've talked about that a couple times. But it's just like, it really flushed. It opened up at 69.75, flushed down to 65, went up to 72, and then whoops, lost everything. So that could happen with Chime today. You're gonna have to be responsible with, oh shoot, this is gonna break. Voyager's gonna break on me probably in the pre-market here. The spread is quite large, so be very, very careful. I might have to lower my shares. Okay, Obi, take over here. I'm going to cancel this order.
Yeah, I guess I'll chime into this. But yeah, I said I guess I'll chime into this one as well. I like that again. I like to look at the S1s as soon as I'm like, okay, there's an IPO. I want to see what's on the S1 there. So they already have 8.6 million active members. They're already making money, and as Sharif pointed out, some pretty strong underwriters. So yeah, we'll wait and see what information we get on the open of the IPO with only about 4 seconds left. Good luck to everybody.
4 seconds, Jesus.
Oh
okay.
boy, 3, 2, and 1.
I think we'll probably be in this Voyager almost right away. So we're going to have to be very, very careful with this. So here we go. We are now open. It's $1.50 spread on Voyager. So we're going to be careful with this. Easy to lose, no doubt. But we're going to wait to see if there's anything going on with that one. Okay. Oh, man, I'm getting already nervous about that. Voyager, Chime, Apple. Okay, so let's just go over to Apple quickly. Just want to try to see what some of the ideas we had initially were good to go. We didn't get to talk about this. I like a fade through $200. If it can get up there, I think we go short on Apple. But again, an Apple a day, you know, does keep sort of the Nasdaq at par, because we need to watch to see what that's doing. There's the nice spike up there in the Nasdaq, and you can see Apple not doing that at all. So there it goes, there it goes. I think the short is going to be right for Apple, but probably right to wait, as we say all of the time on that one. And then the other play that I want to do was NVIDIA, maybe with the market. Yeah, okay. So this is coming up into our 143 area here for NVDA. Possibly worth a short in this area. I'm going to try it right now to see if we can get a short on a nice little pull up right now in the market. We're now short NVIDIA right now. We just put it on. 1 unit trade here at 142.66.
Yes, sir. I'm just watching this Oracle and this Boeing off the open. Oracle came down into about 189s. We're holding that VWAP as of right now, but again, still waiting. Need maybe a little bit more information here. Markets pulling up pretty nicely. Boeing's still kind of consolidating within its opening range, so nothing too crazy there. Again, I'm looking at the stocks in my watch list. What's really doing what I'm looking for, and can I get involved in them in an effective manner? That's the question I'm asking. CoreWeave still in its opening range.
Okay, well, they want to buy NVIDIA
as well. I had that one SMR on watch. Again, yesterday we saw how strong some of these quantum movers were, and yeah, I'm just going to be looking for a potential continuation. Wow, NVIDIA with a push right off of the open there.
We're short right here at 75s. We're going to be out just because we're in the position. We're going to be out if it breaks there it goes. If it breaks 143.20s. Early hit here. Okay, that's fine. We tried it. This was a trade that I liked. We'd said that it was down against the market there today. And now, of course, the market is down and NVIDIA is rocking right now back up to the upside. So we have to slap a fail on that again. And it's funny because I said it was going to wait a little bit here into the open. But as you can see, not too much patience for me. We tried the 143. We had it written down. Look, it was the 200 period right there on the on my 5-minute chart. You know, now if we're going to go short, maybe you got to wait till 144 because NVIDIA now going the opposite of what I was thinking. So not worth layering into this one. We take an early L there on NVIDIA, and our Voyager trade right there. Yeah, not working out right now as we get down into 59. It actually goes to 58.50. So we're waiting for that top break. I'm actually going to edit and maybe go down in shares again on this, making me a little bit nervous there, how many units to use on that kind of a break. But we'll see if that breaks 62. We're still waiting for that Chime IPO. Quickly, someone just put in the chat, Palantir. Yeah, nice move down. So that would have been maybe something to pick up here on some strength in the market, but I don't know. It's down against a market that's kind of flat right now, so I don't know. We'll have to wait to see what's going on with Palantir. But yeah, good call out there as we look over at this Nasdaq name. You're not in anything yet.
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
I don't really see anything
no
too
point
crazy
in going crazy
yet.
yet.
But again, if Oracle does start to go a little crazy, I do want to participate in it. But I'm waiting, letting it consolidate, letting it chop around here as it just holds within the opening range here. On, I guess, a few different things. But yeah, 190, I think I have VWAP here coming in at 190 halves. We're still holding a little bit below that. Market kind of, it may be a little bit of a disconnect there. You see the ES kind of pulling in while the NASDAQ kind of pushes up there as well. So watching Oracle, maybe looking
like
at,
the short
looking at
or
the NASDAQ a little bit closer.
What are you
here.
thinking?
91's coming in.
What are you thinking about the market?
Oh boy, there it goes. Oh, there's Oracle. What do I think about the market?
Yeah, are you looking at the market yet or just individual names so far?
Just Oracle right now. There's that push through opening range high. Let's see if there's going to be follow through here. Nice little consolidation. 192s. Oh boy, here we go, Sean. 193s. Yeah, there it goes. So
what was the low there?
Push. The low there was 188.90. So we didn't quite get to
nice.
1.
At least we talked about that.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, good little look there. Oh, let's check out what Boeing's doing right now. I'm not seeing anything really hitting on the scanners yet for us, hitting any key levels or VWAP or anything. Boeing kind of just not doing anything right now, so we can wait to see if that starts to hit off. Again, I'm still debating what to do with NVIDIA. Tesla, oops, oh God, I got to go back. We're going to go to Adair in 1 second. There goes NVIDIA through 143.50 now. That could be a good play. And then just one more look, and then we'll go over and see what the news is all about here. 323.50, so Tesla just trying to find its way as well right now. Some people in the chat were talking about 324 there on Tesla. That might have been a good level. What's up, Adair?
Yeah, keep an eye here on Boeing. There's a little bit of an update. So initially we were seeing here, reported by the Indian Express, that police were saying there were no survivors. Now apparently a different agency is reporting that police apparently found one survivor on the flight and another found in the hospital and under treatment. So just an update here for BA. With regards to some of these other movers, RSLS, nice push to the upside here, just off the open, about a 6% short float, though definitely removed from pre-market highs. Just to let you guys know, we also don't have any numbers today at 9:45 or 10 a.m., but Trump will be signing a bill, participating in what's being called a bill signing ceremony at 11 a.m. So stay tuned for that. Could always be market moving. Back to you.
Okay, good. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, we tweet out. It's on our watch list as well every single day. Thanks to Derek for all that. All the numbers you might need on there. We did have PPI earlier today as well. So here comes Tesla up to that 324 area again in a little bit of a fade. But, nothing. This is like, what is the NASDAQ? Like, what are we even doing right now in the market? Doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot into there. Okay, let's check out Oklo then. We said that if the market does nothing, look, there it is, man. And I can't say anything else. Like, we had Steve Gomez on here, and I'm like, Oklo's a buy. We have these, it's the right space. I asked you about nuclear. It's the right space, the right time, and then you get a dip by opportunity to get buy something at 6% down. Well, that's exactly what it went to. It went right into the pre-market lows and then popped $3. So Oklo, nice move there. We can check out its sort of, I actually have to look up the market cap. I'm not even sure the market cap of all of these companies, to be honest with you. But SMR right here bouncing as well today. But I think SMR and some of these names are just been so heated there. Oklo has the news there from the contract yesterday. Maybe something to look at if I were to pick one. It probably would be that Oklo as opposed to them all the rest just because of that news. All right, Intel yesterday was fun because it just kept going down, down, down. And we were like, what's that news? And I said, maybe there's a story coming out about Intel, but there wasn't. So I think that's probably a good little fade there as well, $20.70. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're part of this crew right now. And by crew, I mean everybody watching. I mean, we're all one family here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, keep this show going for sure. Uber, I don't know if there's, okay, you're finally in Oracle right there.
Yeah,
so
I got into a little bit of
all right, Uber making a nice move down here as well. But yeah, let's go look at your Oracle position because right now I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, so that long was absolutely beautiful here, but we come into pre-market levels and start to stall a little bit. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to feel out the other way and see if that bid can actually follow through with any sort of significance. there. As again, that push came in pretty aggressively. I'm like, all right, this is going to go. This is going to push, and I totally missed it. And then it just stalls at pre-market highs. I'm like, all right, well, I got to stay nimble. I got to stay on my feet. Let's see what it kind of does here. If sellers are going to kind of meet with those buyers, then I do want to kind of respect that if they start taking over. But no idea what's going to happen. A little bit of a stall. I do like that. Market's pulling back in. Again, ES not really showing the same kind of push that the Nasdaq is just yet. But yeah, just to kind of pretty much chop. Nothing too crazy. I guess Nvidia's the strongest one. I see Alphabet down in its lows as well, and Apple breaking down finally. I guess we're finally holding below that 200 level on Apple. So maybe one to watch out for. Maybe one for continuation. Oh boy. There's that strength coming back in on Oracle. So yeah, definitely a little bit too early on that one.
So I was trying to go a little bit lighter here on NVIDIA because I was like, okay, maybe the market topped out and our NVIDIA play up to 144 now might play. So we're short now at 143.26. I'd started to see this thing going back down, and then I did get a little bit of FOMO there. But like I said, you know, got to give these things a little bit more room. Right off the open, when our initial idea is 143 and we lose on that initial short there, we didn't wind up losing a whole heck of a lot. We're not trying to layer into positions too heavily, but right into there now it looks like, see, it's like you pick out direction in the Nasdaq, and if you're wrong, this obviously is what's going to happen to you. So right now, as we sit here in NVIDIA, I don't want to play the guessing game right now. We have 144 right here. And if we break that, then yeah, then that's what we're breaking. And unfortunately, we'll have to take another loss and go 0 for 2 on shorting NVIDIA. There was no real great story here today about NVIDIA. It was down 1% in the pre-market. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like it wants to, you know, punish those short, and right now that would be me, and we are now short right here. As you're short Oracle, yeah. I'm short NVIDIA. It doesn't look like either one of these things is working out for us right now. So yeah, just I got to give something some time, because if this market does come back in, we're only out 20 cents. It's not completely the end of the world here, but it doesn't make me feel that great that back to back the ideas that we've been sitting in are not great. Yesterday we took SMCI was my largest winner yesterday, P&L wise, and we didn't even take that many shots. We took obvious levels. I mean, it wasn't a shot. It was just let it fall back into 43. It did it there. It did it there. It did it there. Actually, I guess we got it there. I know we had it a couple times. I feel like it was in the afternoon. It was our first trade was there. Maybe we got it again, and then we got it again into here. And that was a great trade back to the upside. So SMCI right now, let's wait to see if you're looking to fade something. And look, it's been wrong on NVIDIA, but that 43 level was so key yesterday. And then today we break it low. So maybe there's going to be something there for a little bit of a short on SMCI if you're looking short, but the SMH and SOXL and everything is up. So as the Nasdaq continues to go higher here, actually SMH is matching the Nasdaq. So I guess it was, you know, just have to wait to see if we do get a little bit of a move to the downside. I know that you paid for shorts on, did you get CoreWeave or Circle or both? It was both,
I got
right?
both.
So
yeah.
CoreWeave, look at this move, Obi. CoreWeave, nice move to the downside right now, $7 and trying to get lower here on CoreWeave. Maybe today is finally that day that we see CRWV back into the downside. I mean, what a daily chart this thing has had. Our Voyager is not doing anything, still at 59, and we'll wait to see if and when that Chime IPO comes through. I don't even see it here on the imbalance locator yet, so I don't think they're close to being ready for CHYM.
Yeah, no, I think that we got to watch out for that one and keep an eye on that one as well, because as soon as that comes out, definitely want to have shares on board, have some borrowed. No idea again which way it's going to go off of open, but I think it's always good to kind of have the shorts ready in case. But yeah, no, this Oracle's definitely ripping to the upside as of right now. So definitely very, very wrong on that one. As again, the opening drive was nice. We didn't get quite down to 187s, and then we're just blasting off. So that high is coming in at I think 198.30s. And we're only about $2 away from that, Sean. So yeah, definitely on the wrong side here, getting short on the Oracle. Let's see if we can push through those all-time highs right now. And the market's kind of catching up as well, right? You can see the Nasdaq kind of pushing up, and the ES finally catching a little bit of a bid going into the later half of, I guess, the first 15-minute candle to print.
Hey,
Oh boy.
and just like that, we're back to flat. So stupid, man. I don't even know. Like, I sit here and is like stressing out about all of this, but I think at the end of the day, I have to remember time is kind of on our side here as a day trader. We do not need to panic in and out of trades. We need to let them build. And as long as you have your outs, then you can sort of sit a little bit more confidently in some of these plays. I am, though, going to show a lack of confidence in this and get out of a little bit here at 143 if we're able to get that level. 143 is held now. Again, it's only 15 minutes into the market, but 143 looks to me like a support area, right? So we'll take something out. If we're lucky enough to get it, we didn't even get that close. We got to 143.20 there. We did go in the money, an amazing 5 cents. That's never good enough when you're holding something 60 or 40 cents against you. So we're going to wait to see. Hopefully that can come up. But yeah, I'm excited to get going, and we have another story with Adara.
Now here in RCAT, nice push to the upside. We know yesterday we had another drone-related executive order being signed here by President Donald Trump. RCAT, Red Cat Holdings, kind of in that space. They've had Palantir deals in the past, and they have a 16% short float. So RCAT on watch. Also, guys, just so you know, just more about the market, I'm just seeing Goldman Sachs apparently cutting its 12-month U.S. recession probability to 30% from 35%. I'm also seeing now people are pricing in some rate cuts a little bit earlier than expected. First one still in September, but now people are seeing the second cut as more likely to be in October compared to previous estimates of December. Back to you.
There. I think, again, we talked about a lot of intraday catalysts in this market. Got to watch out for.
That was the one I
watch out
wanted.
for some of those. What's happening?
Yeah, no, damn. Yeah, that sucks, man. As I sit here and get bled on NVIDIA a little bit here, I hear my good friend Sharif telling me that Apple's tanking, and so the idea we have on here is NVIDIA short, Apple short. I obviously have picked completely the wrong one to short. But yeah, so here comes Apple right back down to that downside now. Good level there. Thanks for the shout out there, Sharif, because it looks like you nailed that one. Good call. Apple is coming back in 197.50 right there. There's really no levels to the downside from what I can see on the daily chart. We sort of broke through what would have been some kind of support at 199, but that's what we were looking at. There goes the fade out. I think Apple can stop at 195, 196. I mean, again, I just look at this as fallout from WWDC. You know, it wasn't a great response to that. We did have a good move on WWDC day, but since then, that was Monday. It's now Thursday. We don't see much here. So we're gonna have to wait to see what happens now with Apple, and I need it to come back up. So VWAP looking pretty good to me, man. If we can get a 190, what is that? 198.60 up to 199. Those aren't horrible areas, but I need to have this trade settle down for me first. We did get a better position up here on. Let's get something out as we go to flat now on NVIDIA. We did get a 144 tick. If I had just waited again for a 144, then we'd be laughing right now. But unfortunately, we get one out there at the 50s, and then it just rips right back up. NVIDIA looks strong, man. All the dips are getting bought up. We're getting out of this thing on a 144 break, that's for sure. And it looks like that's relatively imminent. I'm hoping we can get a flush. Let's go see if there's news with Adara.
Just be aware here, Apple, not seeing any news on this, but I do want to let you guys know there's a ton of bearish sentiment for this circulating around on X. People are saying basically that some people calling it the new BlackBerry. It just seems like a lot of people talking about how they're shorting this name. They're not happy with the company after WWDC. Also, Trump just posted on Truth. It's nothing market related, but we know sometimes these posts can move the market. Just be aware. Trump with the new Truth post. Apple, lots of bearish sentiment. No numbers coming up. Back to you.
Trump tweeted about Apple? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, Darren, no, not about that. I misunderstood that. Okay, I was like, okay, if this guy's tweeting about Apple's relative strength, or weakness, then yeah, I'm a little interested in what that's all about. But yeah, okay, so I was just saying to Obi, it's like I take a shot on something and it's like it gets close to working and then doesn't at all. So yeah, we're gonna wait to see now. It looks like it is trying to get a little bit higher here on NVDA. So yeah, we're trying to get some more out near the 50s. I'm not feeling great about it, but hey, man, if the market does turn around, remember, we don't have any numbers on board here today. We're nowhere near VWAP or the 50-period moving average, so I do think that there is some work that needs to be done. We just got another out there at 55s or 57s. So hopefully we can fall back in. We're short right at this level. I don't want to just get out of everything now, because then if it actually wins, then I don't have anything on board. But it's not giving me the greatest feeling here. We are going to get some more out south of 50 if we're lucky enough to do that, and then we just see if it drops. But right now, NVIDIA kind of just waiting to see what's going on with NVDA. As you're okay, you're still in Oracle and Boeing right now. I just want to talk about that because it's another name that's on our watch. Boeing right now up to 206. Looks like that was the high. Kind of strange, nothing's happening there, but I guess we wait for more information. It was at least Adair had mentioned that there was a survivor there, but still, yeah. Yeah, so 2 survivors, kind of sad anyways, because I mean, if you're one of those survivors, you've probably, you could be one survivor in a massive family or something. I don't know, I just feel so bad about what just happened there. Okay, let's go to Obi.
Yeah. So level up your trading with Prop XP, up to 1 to 200 leverage and static drawdown. Scroll the site and pick your challenge at propxp.com. Trade directly on our platform, sign up, try for free, and start your trading journey. Enjoy rapid payouts and real human support, no bots. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot, trusted by traders worldwide. Right now, get 50% off with code TraderTV. Links in the description. Be the trader, get funded. Join Prop XP today. Prop XP, your edge starts here. Visit propxp.com. Let's see what Adair has to say with some.
No news yet, but they posted on X about 4 minutes ago, so around 8:45. We've got some news you won't want to miss. 15 minutes, so I guess keep an eye on Coinbase at 10 a.m. They are teasing an announcement. Right now, the stock is doing very little. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't fade the announcement, whatever that may be. All right, let me check out what Apple's doing, and then I'm going to go over to Coinbase and have a quick little look to see what's going on there. Yeah, so Apple's still making those lows. We'll still watch out for that level. Oak low quickly, as I know there's a lot of names here, and I haven't been able to check too much of the chat because I'm in this NVIDIA trade, and I will check the chat for some trade ideas in a couple seconds. Oak low, huge move up today again. I mean, that was a big move, right? So they had to move down right into the pre-market lows again. Like we talk about that with earnings plays or any kind of plays, that once you see pre-market lows and they hold, that is the boom, right? I mean, I'm gonna need to get e-signal. I'm gonna have to look at that to see if there's some sort of a scanner that I can get for pre-market lows and highs. Obviously there is. I just need to either code it myself or figure that out. Okay, so Voyager right now. I said I was gonna look at another name and I just actually forgot what it was right now. Oh, it was, what was it Darren was talking about?
Apple.
No, I already looked at that. Okay, but right into there, $62. Oh, Coinbase, 62. Way to pay attention, Obi. $62 right there. Me too. 62 breaking right there. That's still the level that I'm trying to look at here on VOYG. And then it was 10 o'clock, right, Adara? Yeah, 10 o'clock. So we'll wait to see what Coinbase, maybe they're launching new coins, or I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think it would be that, but Coinbase right now downside. Look what's happening here with Bitcoin 107 looking a little lower. Okay, we didn't short anything more up here on NVIDIA, but it is trying to come back in again here, Obi. So I don't know what to do with this name. I'm definitely not getting anywhere with this short. So might just wind up covering this for flat, which is where we're at right now. But yeah, we love Oracle over here. But unfortunately, Obi's short right now, Oracle. So thanks for pointing that out, Sharif. No, just playing around. All right, so let's go back over, man. Right now, I'm just on NVIDIA. And yeah, that's the thing, right? You have your trade idea ready to go. You're planning it well. You're in an appropriate amount of shares. And, it is against you. Did you want to talk a little bit about where your exit might be?
It's definitely going against me. It's poised for that all-time high push. So I'm definitely very much wrong on this trade. And yeah, I'm going to probably be getting out very soon here and just waiting and watching for next potential opportunity as well. I got Boeing on watch here on the other side. That's been holding up quite well as well. And that prior high is 198.30. So we're kind of just coming up into that level as of right now, potentially breaking out.
Here we go, dude.
Highs there. So that's definitely something.
I hope this is good for you. Yeah, no, because right now NVIDIA's coming down, man. We actually have a decent winner. We're almost going to go green on the stock here today. But again, we should have waited and got a little bit of a better price. So far we've just kind of been taking the L's here because we did start the short at 143. Our average price was 143.60. So as long as we wind up covering underneath 143.60, then it's a win. But I just covered about 25% there. We said if we got into the 50s, we'd get out, and we did have some bids lower than 50s. My best fill is we didn't get 25s, is 41s right there. So their best fill right now is only 20 cents, and we only got out at 10% at that level. So we got out about 10% right here around 50, another 10% around 40s, and then some out at 60. So that gives us that 25% out. So now we're going to try to hold OB and see if we can get it lower. I'm at 143.33s, which is me just ahead of the quarters, and then again at 143 to see if that wants to hold. And then after that, man, we'll just see if we can get a little bit lower here on NVIDIA, but it's working out now. So far, so good on holding into this, but I'm going to take another 5% right here at 45 if we can. And did I get it or did I miss it? Oh, we got that 45. So, okay, a little bit more out right now, and that wasn't 10%, sorry, that was 5%. So now we have about 30% left of NVIDIA. Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, that NVIDIA push is pretty aggressive, but taking a little bit of a pullback here. We popped up into, I guess, the 21.9 territory on the Nasdaq, and that's kind of holding up as well. So we kind of talked about earlier how the ES was a little bit behind, not really giving us too much strength, but look at that ES kind of finally catching up there into that push for the rest of the market there. So let me know in the chat what you guys are trading, and yeah, is anybody long on that Oracle? That was definitely great off of that 190, 198, 197 area there. Definitely missed out on that one, and I tried the other way, which again is not my strongest suit, but again, feel like managing the risk relatively okay for now, and just waiting for it to potentially come in as well. So yeah, I'll definitely stop out as it kind of pushes through those highs, but willing to kind of be patient and really kind of pound it in when it does give us a little bit of the backside there. That's what I'm really waiting for. So yeah, 198s, here it comes, only about 20 pennies away, man. So if this a blast, maybe that 200 might be another area to kind of get involved here once again. So we are pretty close to that 200. I see that your NVIDIA is starting to pull back a little bit here.
Not really.
What's the high? Did that hit?
Yeah, my best
or 44. Okay.
Close 44. My best fill on this was 80s. I believe it got higher than that though, but that's where I lay to rest my best fill so far. All right, I was bidding 33s. I mean, what's the difference between 33s and 38s? Some might say 5 cents. So I'm going to get some out right here at 36s. I didn't even want to wait for that. So there, okay, well, we would have got our 33s. See, this is why it's like sometimes, first of all, isn't Randy here? I'm going to have to find out because normally it's coffee time by now. I kind of feel like I'm like one of those like lab rats, you know, like you give it something and it reacts a certain way. And I just look down, it's like 9:55, like it means nothing to me. Like if I was at home, I might have had like one coffee and we'd be doing something else and I wouldn't even care. But it's like the habit of sitting here. I mean, my mood is changing too because of this trade, but yeah, so shout out to that. What, you want something? You want a drink or anything? I'm gonna ask.
No. I was gonna say that's kind of how I feel when that lunch bell rings as well.
Oh yeah.
Like we have a little lunch bell, and Wayne and I were talking about this. This is like that's definitely
like a dopamine or something.
No, it's like you know the Pavlov. You know.
Right. Yep.
Like you're kind of conditioned for a little bit of a reaction there.
I mean, I have the Yeti. Yeti's been a good stock too, actually.
Really?
Do you have Yetis? Like you?
I have like a thermos. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great, eh?
Yeah.
The coolers are great. I got one for the wife for Christmas. It was.
I didn't know they traded.
Fantastic. I've never traded it either, but.
But yeah, just waiting and watching some of this Oracle.
I know Randy was at the opening. He's here. He brought us. He
brought you the plum.
I mean, don't fear, man. Randy's not sick. He's here. Randy's never sick, man. We're never me, Randy, you. I've never even.
That guy's a machine. I've seen him stand outside in shorts when it's like snowing blizzard.
Is that a machine or is that just?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. Shout out to Randy. Great guy. Obviously, as you guys see, and our desks being built behind us right there as we get ready to rock and roll with our new format. I could be no more excited than that for that new format of ours coming hopefully in the fall.
Oh. Okay.
I'm dropping too many tidbits here all the time. I'm dropping too many.
That's news to me, man.
All right, Tesla. People want to look at Tesla. All right, so let's do that, man. We're just having a good time here on the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I mean, over trading is one thing, and you know, making sure that we have some good conversations here as well. Trading's a lonely game. I mean, that was the whole story behind why we built this up, was to teach train, entertain, and just give people hopefully something to watch. And you guys have definitely done that. We want to thank all 525,000 subscribers. Thank you for that. And right now, how many do we have watching right now, Obi? Over 10,000, man. Get that likes screaming. We got to get 2,000 likes. I mean, you like Obi here or what? Right now, we wish Neil better. I'm hoping he comes tomorrow. I mean, I got to take tomorrow off, but no, I feel fine, and Neil's not feeling well. So, and I said this to Obi yesterday. It's like you don't want to come in if you're not feeling well, because we only have like 5 hosts with you included, right? So it's kind of like, and then we need a Dara on the desk. She's been wicked with the news. Great fill-in though. Dara filled in, was it half a day or almost the whole day last week or something? Half a day, a couple weeks ago. Okay, so there you go. So not last week, but yeah. So thanks for the continued support on the show. All right, Tesla right now does get up to that 330. It's so funny because I mean I mentioned 330 earlier on today when we were looking at this stock and thought that would have been a good fade area, because yesterday I thought 330 was going to be an area right there that if we did break it, which we did sort of, but we didn't get there until the very end of the day. That's 1 o'clock right there. Then we went whoops and faded out. Then we made it back at the end of the day is what I was getting at there. And that was his top as well. 329 to be exact. But if you're looking at 330, you probably start the trade there. And for me, that's a 1 unit there, hoping to get 3 or 4 units on a stock, and then boom to the downside. So that would have worked out real well for you there on Tesla had you looked short into that name. All right, Rivian, because we just mentioned Randy as well, $14 and going southbound. Get the heck down, NVIDIA, man. This could be a big trade. We're definitely happy with the way that one's working out for us right now, although I still hoping for more. Starbucks, all right, relatively flat there as well. Oh no, Ramin's coughing. That's Neil's fault, Ramin. You take as much time as you want off. We'll bill Neil for that. But there goes Palantir as well, kind of just doing nothing this morning. That's PLTZ. Well, that's not Planet Fitness as well. Oh no, poor Ramina. I can hear her coughing up a storm over there.
It gets cold in that corner as well. I mean,
it has nothing to do with B. I think it's. Okay, now it's getting to be too much. I get Ramin over here, we get Fabian over there. Andre, please just leave so that we can at least have you here tomorrow. Yeah, so, only the strong survive around this place. I've only been asking, not that they're not strong, I'm saying you have to be strong to survive. It's, I've been asking for an air purifier here forever and ever and ever, and it seems to be, no, we got to work on the new studio. But I think the air purifier might be a good idea as more and more people feeling some kind of way right now. All right, there's Palantir not doing anything. That reminds me of the biggest of the bears as well, Big Bear AI. Look, man, I don't want, I've already talked about it. This is a short play that I have in my account, Big Bear AI. I'm long at $4.20. I don't give a you-know-what about what this thing does over the next month unless it gets back to $9. I'm not, this is a name where I have enough money in there that it could make a difference, but not enough that it actually makes a difference. Do you know what I mean? If this doubles, that's what I'm looking for. So if you're looking for something to double or triple, then you have to be willing to lose something. And for me on Big Bear AI, the fact that it doesn't do anything anymore, I apologize. We had this play up there. If I was nervous, I could have got out at 450, 460, 470. We didn't do that at all. I think it's looking pretty good here. We're above the 200. We're above the 50. I like Big Bear AI. I know there's lawsuits. I know that their numbers aren't the greatest, but at the same time, I'm buying it for future and for the fact that, hey, some days crazy stocks run on almost nothing. So we'll see if Big Bear AI can get a new contract, can get some news, and we can get this thing back to $6, $7. And at that point, you can, you can message me and ask me what we're doing. But I'm going to be getting something out in those levels. Until then, was that a Dara coughing?
No. That was
Man, now I'm starting to get paranoid around here, man. We got a show to run over here, man. Obi, we got bills to pay.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I got to pay your bill for being on the show.
Oh, boy.
That's the other thing.
I'm not that expensive. Come on.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, yeah, you're not as expensive as Neil, man. Neil. But we replaced one with the other. Anyways, yeah, sick bay around here. What's up, Adara?
I'm not sick, and neither is this market here, guys. This is a nice green push to the upside in the 15-minute, almost flat on the day for the S&P 500. Nasdaq, I believe, at one point actually was flat. So yeah, but both Nasdaq and S&P 500 basically flat here, though I would say if we go back to this chart briefly, Q is a little bit rockier than the S&P 500, which has been a straight shoot to the upside. We do have Reuters reporting that Goldman Sachs is cutting its 12-month U.S. recession probability to 30% from 35%. We also have traders now pricing in earlier than expected rate cuts. Still going to get that first cut in September, but the second one may be in October after we get cooler than expected economic data for the second day in a row. So PPI, much like CPI, coming in cooler than expected, except for the year-over-year print, which is just in line with estimates. The core print's, though, definitely cooler. Here's Boeing. This team trying to push back to the upside. Unfortunately, there was a fatal crash here in India for BA. Keep an eye on GE and SPR as well. Suppliers for Boeing that dropped lower on this news. GME to the downside, announcing that $1.75 billion convertible senior note offering. And keep an eye on Coinbase. We know Coinbase is set to do some kind of announcement at 10 a.m. Back to you.
Yeah, no, that Coinbase definitely, thank you for reminding me. I guess I'll pull that up now and take a quick look at that one. Coinbase trading on the Nasdaq. So do that one, 244. So yeah, let's see if anything, kind of keep an eye on this one and see if anything comes out there. Important announcement apparently. And okay, so Oracle kind of pushed that high by a little bit there and pulling back now. So we actually got to those all-time highs, and let's see if more of that action comes in that we saw last time we were here, or do we finally kind of break out? Because we were pretty aggressive on that push there. And again, this is horrible trading on my part for sure. I will 100% admit that. But again, kind of managing the mischief with the kind of sizing that I'm using as of right now. Like I said, I really want to get into it on the right side when it does potentially come in here. VWAP coming in all the way down at 194s here. I also got it at 194 halves. So this thing's kind of just consolidating near its highs. So maybe poised for a little bit higher. I saw people in the chat talking about 200, and oh boy, yeah, not that far away from 200. We talk about the ATR of Oracle. Let's see what I have here just to remind myself what that was. I have about 3.77. I don't know if you check on FinViz or something else like that. It might be slightly different. But I just have a calculator on my Google Sheets that just pulls the information, does the calculation by itself. So I kind of just go with that sometimes there. But yeah, FinViz and the trade ideas and all the other ones, they're perfectly fine as well to keep an idea of what the potential ATR might be. But yeah, it's about $4 there. But again, with that relative volume that we're having today, it's earnings day one. Can it do multiples of ATR? Yes, well within range of doing multiples of ATR. Market tailwind, do we have that? Maybe, but Nasdaq still kind of, we got that pop, but we're kind of faded back in. So nothing too crazy yet, just trading in a bit of a chop zone. Softy, interestingly enough, that stock has been pretty strong over the past few days. We can see that again, if you look at it on a daily, it's been in a nice trend. Today, though, still trading sideways within the opening range. So nothing too crazy just yet on Softy. I'm waiting for the next trade. So throw it in the chat, guys. What do you guys think is a potential setup? I'm more than willing to look at it. I got Coinbase on watch for a potential news report coming out soon as well. What do you got on watch, Sean?
No, it's just I still have the same name, and I'm just going to get something out now in the 30s. So that's BBAI, by the way. Excuse me. No, NVIDIA. Like NVIDIA just went up to 143.70 again. I'm thinking about taking another short if it does make that kind of a move. But I just took some more out there at 34. I'm waiting still at 143 flats to see if we can get that. So we'll give it a little bit of a second here to see if it does fall back in. But that's literally what I'm looking at. Disney yesterday was a nice run up to. Fabian was a nice run up to 119 and change right there. So we're off a week from today, by the way, with Juneteenth. So just to give everybody an idea there. Some people asking yesterday if the market was closed that day. Yes, it is. Now that I just remember that. Yeah, Disney right now, great top. I'm wondering if this is, we'll see if that turns red today. If we stay red on Disney, that could be a doji star making our way back into this 110, 112 area. Could be a good options play there for a swing or just to short or get out of some of your position and maybe rebuy it back down into here. We'll see if Disney wants to fade out. Yeah, shoot, man. So we didn't get that push again here. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna load. I'm not gonna load into anything right here. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more shares up near this area of one. Okay, we'll try some right here at 76s. Okay, we just got that real quick. And then my offer's at 89s now to get that short, because there's a nice little candle there on the Nasdaq as we start to go back to the upside. So a decent reload. You know, we put on about 10% more. Let me see if we can get something out a little bit lower here as we fade slightly off of that level now. I was going to go run and go get a coffee, and then I saw NVIDIA make this move higher there, so we won't do that. Maybe we'll wait for our next little update before we do that. But there's the reload short. We talked about that. Oh, we actually have a little GIF for that. Are these things called GIFs? What are these things called? There's a reload there on NVIDIA for 15 cents, but we're not going to take that right now. So yeah, we'll wait to see if there's anything going on. I am trying to take a little bit there. I'm at 53s. There it is. So we take out 5% there at 53 as now. Hopefully it will fade out and we'll have that play for us. ORCL's almost all the way back to green. It will go green today, and I just wonder when it does go green, what about that 69 break? Because without that offering, you were probably going up. Like, you know, so now everybody has said, okay, here's your $400 million, and thanks for that, and let's just pursue normal business. So there goes ORCL all the way back up through 68. Well, 68's not through there yet, but that breaks us right back here. I think a 69 long on ORCL is imminent and something that we want to look out for. So other than that, man, we have Chime IPO. Let's chime in on that. Nothing now. I'm not even sure I can put out a market on open order. If I go Shift F10 here, I'm just going to put one for $75. I'll just show you. We'll put 100 shares now just to see. Yeah, so it rejects right now in our system, and it says shares not open and blocked and all that stuff. So we're going to have to wait right now for Chime, because I'm not even seeing anything on the tap. Normally when the stocks are ready to go, and I've seen hundreds of IPOs, they all have data in here. And then if you go over to the imbalance locator, this is the second check. It's normally on here too. Let me just update the time right now. It's not, there's nothing on here at all. This is a Nasdaq name. Nasdaq updates their IPOs. So I don't know right now. Thanks, Fabian. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but okay. So that's what we're doing right now. We are waiting for all of that to come through. So CoreWeave and NVIDIA, people are talking about that. I know there's a, at the same price. What's up, Los Polos Hermanos? Oh, by the way, my 13-year-old is watching Breaking Bad. What's your take?
I haven't seen it. I know there's been a lot of hype around it, but
a lot of hype. Yeah, it's a relatively new series.
It's old for sure, but I never really got around to watching it. That's all it was.
Did you see The Studio?
Oh, yeah. The Studio? No, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, my guy Walter White there. He's in the last 2 episodes, and what an actor, man. Cranston, what an actor. The guy does everything for Breaking Bad, and then if you watch The Studio in the last 2 episodes, the guy plays just a hilarious. He's the head of The Studio, and well, I mean, him and Seth Rogen, I think he's the owner then, I guess, and it's just great, man, walking around Vegas. Am I going to spoil it if I tell people certain things? Probably. Anyways, they have a part. I don't care. Anyways, I do care about that, but it's been a couple weeks. They have a party, and there's some drugs that are served, and there's a little bit of overdoses happening. Oh boy. And it is just a real funny end to the show without spoiling anything, but it's only a half-hour watch. It's on Apple. Apple, by the way,
what's going on?
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but the content that I'm seeing on Apple is pretty good, man. Like, their shows are pretty hot. Like I don't know what the F1 is. It's won all the awards for all the streaming services for the best streamed programs. We saw that on Apple there.
Apple did?
I think it's like 4 or 5 years in a row.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Anyways, I think, you know, a lot of the shows that I've seen on there have been pretty good, man. I tried to get through. What's the one where I probably need this, where half of your brain is work and then the other half is, Severance? Yeah. So I only got through about like maybe half of the first season there, and that one, I heard Derek doesn't really.
She fell asleep saying, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, the same thing. So that's why I was hearing you got to get through the first season to get to the second season. So I don't know, Dark Matter. Oh, you know which one we started to watch again? I only watched one episode of it. It's with John Hamm. There's a new one there on Apple as well. That's pretty good. And he gets
I have no idea.
he has some indiscretion and loses his job. And anyways, yeah, that's pretty good too. But okay, on to the next. On to the next. All right, so CoreWeave, wow, straight up now. And I don't know, NVIDIA is trying to go back up. It's a good thing that we were able to get something out there of NVIDIA, but it looks like that may turn out to be an L at the end of the day. But there goes CoreWeave, 142, a nice little bottom there, up to 147 and change. I'm still looking at this Voyager. It's actually not doing anything. I may just cancel this. I actually am going to cancel it. I'm canceling my sticky note trade there on Voyager. And if it does wind up ripping up, then fine. It's 10:15 right now. I put it on here 62 long, looking to see if there's a day 2 squeeze here. Maybe it's a space and defense technology name. I really like the name. I do think that there's a chance for it to go. I think it's a better name than Circle. I think it's even a better name than CoreWeave, just in what space they're in. But whatever I think doesn't matter. There is no real day 2 love right now for Voyager. Obviously, it's up 4 or 5%. That's a nice move, but it does not break that 62 area, and this is what I was looking at right there. I mean, the high really is like 61.50. I'd like to see it get through 62. Then I thought when Moon on that break, I was only going to take 100 shares. Of it to begin with. That's why I was actually, I had a little bit more earlier, and then it came up there in the pre-market, and I'm like, I'm not getting punched in to like a couple hundred shares early in the pre-market, because this is what could happen, and the next thing you know, you're stuck 5 bills, and it's like, don't rather not do that at 9:35. So right now, $62. I still think it's worth it if you're going to play with 100 shares, and 100 shares, that's probably would be one of the bigger positions that for around here, but I'm not going to take it now. I'm going to just wait. But if it does float around here, I could put that trade back in. I just don't want to be part of a move that gets up to here and then I punch long and then it goes nope and it comes back in. I'd rather see it kind of building than taking it out and catching shorts right there. So for me right now, it is a puff pass to OB. 143.80 just came right back in again. Not going to well, I'll reload it a little bit higher where I said at 90s, but then if this breaks 144 right now, look at the market. We fought the law, and right now the law has won, because I thought the market was going to possibly drip down today. We wrote it down on here, man. I mean, the market was red. I came in today, the Nasdaq was red, and we even started the show. I'll be saying like, hey, how many times do we actually have a red market? And it looks like, yeah, not red for long. It's 10:15.
Yeah. So traders, are you ready to fully optimize the computer you use for trading every day? Well, Easy Trading Computers and Trader TV have teamed up to bring you an exclusive sale on the world's most powerful AI-ready computers for trading. This limited time desktop and laptop sale includes exclusive performance upgrades, bonus gear, and 0% financing. And it's only for Trader TV viewers. Scan the QR code, enter your email, and unlock access before it's gone. This exclusive sale is ending June 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So scan that QR code or click the link in the description box.
Man, everyone was waiting to see Randy. He came when you were doing that, and now he's gone. But I want to say thank you to Randy for the coffee, coffee, liquid, crack.
Got some of mine right here.
The thing is, it doesn't even, I don't know. I think I've like been having coffee since I was like a little wee one here, being Italian and everything like that. I remember my Nonna giving us like little shots of espresso here and there and stuff like that.
When's the earliest you remember?
Oh, I have no idea, man. 21. No, no, I don't remember exactly. I would probably say, it's a great question, Obi. I would probably say probably 10. I don't know.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't remember. But whatever, man. I remember I used to make the moonshine and everything, the vino in the basement there. That stuff, you could pour that stuff into your car and it would start it. So that stuff was
It doesn't sound very healthy.
No, man. You don't want, if you know any like European, Portuguese, Italian, like any like old school, you know, you make the wine in the basement yourself and it's just like, you know, maybe you're even drinking it before it's even ready. Like it's not, you know, but it just comes in like the huge jugs. You're pouring it anyways. Whatever, man. All right, well, there's the fail. I mean, it's a good thing that we had talked about getting these out. Like, we have more outs, and we reloaded it at 90 out at O's, so our last little bit is 10 cents there. Normally, this is where I would kind of slam back into it because I'm seeing it go back down now, and I'm saying, like, maybe that 144 is the top. So guess what, Obi? Let's try right now, as we just got stopped out up there. But again, taking this kind of a risk, let's go to 143.11s, and then just stop out. Whoops. See what I just said there and did? Whoops. Let's go to 143.11, I said. Oh my God, I just put the stop order in at 143.11 and then...
Oh, damn, and then it
punched me out. Not a big deal. We get back in, but now I have to pay the piper because now my price is worse than it was before. Well, how about 144.10, Sean? All right, we'll put that in right there, and now we'll wait to see if that is exactly the top. We're not gonna try to chase this dream. If it wants to go, fine. But we do know that there is a possibility for it to get back into this area. If we could take 50 cents on this one, we'll learn our lesson and not wait for that very bottom. We did have a story today about Google and CoreWeave, of course, and it looks like everything was right for shorting except for NVIDIA. Like Google did have that move down now it's trying to finally retake itself back there to the upside. Again, 180 seemed like a magnet and it pulled right up into it. We did get a couple days where we broke through 180, but now it's kind of looking like it wants to get the other way here. And it's kind of the same thing. We only spent a little bit of time above 190, 180 here before getting hit pretty good. I cannot believe Google touched 140, 137 in its bad periods right there. Okay, Obi, I got to get over now because now NVIDIA is trying to give me a little bit of cash back.
Yeah, so
like
a little bit of a push. So we got past that 21.9, and you can see the strength on the ES as well, kind of following through.
Damn it, Sean.
So taking a look at some of the stocks I had in play. Let's see what's doing what I'm looking for really. CoreWeave. Okay, CoreWeave kind of flushed down. A little bit of a bounce happening as of right now. So let's pull that one up and take a quick look at CoreWeave. Oh boy, there it is. So right here. So this is what I'm talking about. Nice little flush. So continuation from yesterday, we kind of wicked or kind of rejected that all-time high there, 166.60s. Friday high 166s. And then a nice little continuation coming in today, right off of the open there. So CoreWeave, maybe some potential selling coming in. Oh boy! So yeah, the market catching a little bit of a bid off of the open after a little bit of consolidation that we saw in the first couple of 15-minute candles. Let's see what's going on with small caps though with it.
Like I'm talking.
Great look here for the IWM. I mean, yes, we gapped down, but the recovery since that has been really nice. We've made these higher lows continuously on the 15-minute, starting pre-market right now, still down about 0.5%. But getting into yesterday's, I guess, post-market low, we're going to have a lot of ground to make up for. But right now, this push back to the upside is pretty promising for the Russell. Talk about CVAC. This one, CureVac, apparently BioNTech agreeing to acquire the company in an all-stock transaction. Nice push to the upside, though, not moving necessarily like your typical buyout. Then we've got SGMT, Sagimet Biosciences. No news on this one, but a 15% short float, and it's rallied in the past. Last but not least, AXTI. So apparently one company that is a subsidiary of AXT apparently received export permits for indium phosphide for China. So good look here for AXTI, subsidiary. Nice look for the stock. Back to you.
Yeah, that Oracle is coming into that 200, man. So I'm totally out of that one there. As again, it's showing me that clearly buyers are in charge. Clearly, I am very, very wrong on the short, and it's poised for a push of that 200 mark because it's holding that breakout level 198.30s pretty well. I was kind of looking at it here, 198. So I'm like, all right, well, can we get a little bit of a 50% potential reversion? We do slow down in the 198s, but catch another bit going back up. I'm like, all right, cool. That 200 is probably incoming right here. Only about 15 pennies away from that 200, trading at 199.86 day high right now on Oracle. Here it comes. Not too much size there coming in at the 200 mark. So let's take it. Wow, look at that.
There it
right
goes.
Through.
Damn it.
Taken out. So let me quickly pull that.
The market is just
right
like,
here. Boom. Yeah, the market strength.
Do we just go long
not
now
necessarily
on the market?
helping.
That's the thing.
But here we go. Finally, 200 on Oracle. When will it stop? No idea, but that bid is still very much in charge So let's just stay a little bit patient for that one. Coinbase, I guess Coinbase did get a little bit of a pop there, but consolidating, I guess, a little bit higher there on Coinbase. Wow, this 200, lots of chop happening here at that 200 mark here on Oracle. So gonna stay a little patient. Let's see what we do with this 200 mark. That's an aggressive run. That's almost a 20, I guess a 10-point run. 190 to 200 off of the open on Oracle. Opening price was 189.96. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So good look there. We broke through on Nvidia, man. I don't. The short just has. I mean, we've done fine on it, but at the end of the day, it's going to be an L there for Nvidia. I mean, we traded one name there today, and it's like just battling. I did flip over to the long in the futures. I'll talk about that in a minute. We're not ready quite yet, right, Andre? No. I see where it is. Okay, good. I got you. All right. So right now, just into the futures here, trying to see if we can have a little bit of a way here. I'm hearing some news in my ear that we are Carney, which is RPM here in Canada, is saying that trade talks going well with the United States. So, you know, I think that if there can be a deal here with Canada, that should be good for the markets, I would think anyways. So we'll wait to see if the TQQs want to go back up to the upside. This is the Nasdaq right there. And I just want to get on board, man. I mean, you know, we've missed the trade a little bit there early. It's only 10:20, so we still have, you know, a lot of time to go. This is why I'm long right there. We broke through 75.50. Like those were those levels we talked about yesterday afternoon that we couldn't get going. And then today we had, I don't know, I don't even really know why we were down. I was just playing like, hey, maybe the market's too heated. There's potentially, we made the move down there. But it's like now NVIDIA's back to 144, 143.95, but whatever. So now there it goes. We'll wait to see if that level holds or not. Right now, I'm going to be holding this back to 75 for sure, because I still think the trajectory of this market looks long. Oh, come on. Like now NVIDIA does this. This is the thing, man. Like, no wonder I have no hair or anything. Like this is just like the move down now on NVIDIA is trying to happen for us, and we're not in the shares. It's not even moving down that much, so I shouldn't worry about it at all. Let's just watch out for the futures. I am bidding more down here at quarters, and if that comes through, then we'll wait, right? Yeah, exactly. It's not even moving down. I'm not going to worry about it. You're 100% right. The problem is that, like, whatever, I had 700 shares there at the top of NVIDIA, so it's even like, you know, even a 30-cent move is still $200. Like, you know, it's decent. Like, if I can make that in,
a few times, yeah.
you know, 10 minutes.
Not bad.
Frustrating sometimes. All right, here we go, man. Trade the Pool, one for all. The new trading competition from Trade the Pool. Never been done before. Everyone will be trading together on one shared account with $1 million in buying power. This starts June the 16th. You got to get into this pretty soon. June the 16th to the 18th. The goal, beat the Qs. For example, if you beat the Qs by 3%, if the Qs move, by 3% up or down, you just need to aim for more than that. I don't know why up or down. So I guess maybe if the Qs are down 3% and you've created something greater than 3%, I guess you could go short on that. You just got to aim for more than the move that happens in the Nasdaq. And what's in it for you? Everybody wins. Plus, there's over $675,000 in prizes, along with 20 evaluation accounts that are now up for grabs. Scan that QR code. Go find out what's going on with this. It's one account. It's one mission. It's one for all. Join it now. Scan it. Let them know you're coming from Trader TV. And we want to thank Trade the Pool, you know, for, again, some of their guests and for sponsoring this segment of the show. So thank you to TTP, Trade the Pool, for coming through for us now. But yeah, no, what I wasn't saying like, oh my God, NVIDIA's down 10 cents from where we punched out. It's just like, maybe now the move is finally happening, and maybe it's not, right? I mean, if anything right now, I talked about the market coming back into VWAP. I mean, we got outs. We could see that it wasn't really going anywhere. It's more the last little reload there, like I said, that blew out there and we lost what we lost. So we're just going to, again, certain numbers to lose don't really affect my mentality or anything like that. I just want to make good trades. And at one point, you know, that 700 shares turns into 1,500, turns into 2,000, and you just get better and better. And that's what I'm trying to do around here, as a lot of us have many different shutdowns on the floor, and you guys know that a lot of us trade with different different share sizes, right? And so often I could have 100, 200x, maybe even more than that, the share sizes that others have, and others will have more than me on different strategies as well. So it is what it is, and that just sucks because of that trade. I would have liked for it to work out. That goes down into that level right there, 35s. I'm gonna put a bid. I was at 25s. Let's go put something at 40 right now and still wait for our 25, Phil, but let's take some shares off of that 75-25 area. We'll put some back in, but we'll lower the amount. Oracle is now up 14%, by the way. We already talked about it breaking 200. Both you and I have lost on the short today, and I don't think I was being stubborn. I'm not sure what your opinion on what you were doing is.
I was definitely stubborn.
Okay, you were, okay. For me, it was just we broke 143, we got out. We broke 144, we got out, but we were able to take some profits in between there. But Oracle continuing to fly a little bit higher there, and I don't... We say fly higher, we go over to Boeing, but again, something stupid. Boeing right there, 206. Now starting to pull back a little bit. Maybe we had seen the top there on Boeing. We want to get longer than Nasdaq, but we missed that dip buy, so we'll hold on to what we have. And we always say that we'll check out JP Morgan to see what that's doing, because I'm interested in this at 270. I have an order to get more out around 270. So we got some out at 268. I'm looking for 270 to get out there as well. Yes, do I ever get tired of talking? What's up, Tony? Yes. I'm tired every day of talking, man, but, you know, someone's got to host the show. Obi and I are here. Other than that, man, we just talk to ourselves back and forth. So, yeah, thumbs up. Thank you so much to everybody there. And, yeah, I mean, I'd shut up, but then you just got to hear Obi for a while, and then we got to go back and forth. So it cuts both ways, man. Yeah, so, all right, now $6 in the money, $6. 6 cents in the money right now with TQQ as we start to go back to the upside. See, I talked too much, I don't even know what I'm saying. We'll wait for a dip buy here. I'm waiting for this 50-period moving average. Missed us last time. Hearing something about Huawei's chip output, but we can't trade Huawei here. See, there goes NVIDIA. See, so we can't be too sad about being out of that short. So, all right, Obi.
Yes.
I've talked much.
Yes, no, for sure. And yeah, no, I keep kind of trying this short on Oracle, and yeah, I'm more than willing to admit that I was way too stubborn on it. Again, I was going into it a little light, but I was definitely not tight with it as we kind of push even higher. 201s, Sean, absolutely wild here as we continue to push up on this Oracle here. Yeah, earnings day one. Very, very well received here with the market here. So let's see where Oracle will stop. No stopping as of right now. Every dip kind of gets bought in. Let's see what Adara has to say.
Oh, sorry, that's completely my bad. It's actually it's not Money Talks. It is the crypto one. So my apologies. Crypto update here. Typo, verbal typo on my part. Bitcoin actually looked really poised as of yesterday around this time to do a flat top break around. Passed into that 112,000 area. Very much not the case as of today. We sold off yesterday, broke the previous day's low. Now today we're poised for another, red session. Right now trading around 107.5. Coinbase at the State of Crypto Summit. That's, I guess, where they're supposed to make this announcement. I haven't seen any news on said announcement yet. Just be aware that's happening. And also worth noting here from a news standpoint, Politico reporting once again that Trump and Elon Musk are set to have a call tomorrow. So we'll have to see if they resolve any of that feud any further. And here is our crypto look. So Bitcoin down today, Ethereum down back below 2,800, XRP down 3.5%, BNB down about 1%, Solana 4.5% to the downside, Doge 6.5%, Cardano and Tron both down about 5%. So lots of weakness here, no matter where you're looking in the crypto space. Back to you.
This crypto move's definitely worth watching. We were looking for a move on Coinbase. We did get a little bit of a pop, but nothing too crazy there. We kind of just stepped up on top of this kind of first 30-minute consolidation, and we're holding a little bit higher here on top of 245 halves. So not really seeing anything too crazy there. Oracle still holding up very strong bid, holding trend very well. Nothing really broken just yet. Through that 200, 201s, 201.08s is the current high also. Brand new all-time highs as well. Again, both the ES and the Nasdaq pretty strong as well. So that tailwind is something definitely not worth fighting against here. Let's see what else is moving around. We were looking at Boeing a little bit earlier here. Boeing is, I guess, there goes Oracle, fresh highs. I was definitely very, very, very wrong on that, and that's okay. Next trade, still alive for now. But Boeing, let's take a quick look at that one. Oh boy, so yeah, we are getting some continuation here, Sean, of that selling coming in. Current day high, 206.32s, trading at 202.30s, coming back into VWAP, which is sitting just shy of 202s right there. So yeah, one to watch out for Boeing. Let's see if this buying, again, we were talking about that strong volume in the pre-market, expanding relative volume as well as we try to curl back up. Let's see if some of these pullbacks hold prior structure as well to give us a little bit of confluence, maybe some direction as well. But yeah, selling off of the news this morning and consolidating sideways. Again, within the opening range here is Boeing, but some of those pre-market, the base in the pre-market, kind of interesting to me on that name. CoreWeave, again, CRWV. Funny enough, borrowed shares for this one here, and didn't really get involved off of the open there, as it again pushes back through 154, pulling back in through that 150 as well. So nice, beautiful little push to the downside there after yesterday, a kind of a lick grab of those prior highs, 166s, and you can see that's aggressive selling, kind of closing near the bottom quartile on the day. And sure, we open up a little bit higher, but that's selling kind of coming in right off of the open as well. Another name that I was looking at was Circle. Let's see what that one's up to. Oh boy, Sean, I'm definitely shorting the wrong names here.
I know.
Because both Circle and CoreWeave, the only two stocks that I borrowed shares for, both working beautifully well here off of the open. So missed trades on my part. But Oracle long was probably the biggest mistrade, and I might have been a little bit of a tilty boy trying to short it on the way up, all the way up from 190s to 200. So definitely not a good look there on my part. But I'm asking Sean, where is the next trade? I am watching Oracle to see when that bid kind of starts to dissipate and exhaust. I'll be watching that. CoreWeave, again, didn't really participate in it, so not really going to do that one. But let me know in the chat, what are you guys looking at? I see some people chiming in about GME.
Yeah, I forgot about GME.
What's that been doing? Okay,
it's at 23. I actually like this level, though.
Too bad.
Yeah, I actually like this level here on GameStop. I mean, this was a level that we had talked about again. After now raising $1.7 billion. Was that what it was? I think it was, right? In a share offering? Let me just double check the note here that we put out from TraderTv.live. That seems like, was that right? Where is it there? I guess that's right. That was 1.75 billion convertible senior notes offering. So yeah, man, a lot of money, man. 1.75 billion. So it does take the stock down, obviously that 20% on that news. But we had talked about this $23 level and thinking that this could have been a level that you would want to look at there. And I said I would go long here. It came in right away. That was a great... this is the frustrating part about trading, everybody. It's like you guys see it in your accounts all the time. Just like Obi just said, like sometimes looking at different names can hurt you, and sometimes they help you. Yeah, we had GME there. We had it. We talked about buying some 23s. Thing is, like if you buy it the first time, it goes up $1, and that was been like, you know, then we'd be hitting the dollar club and all this and all that. But right now, you just come back into 23 again, and I don't know if it has the juice to get back to the upside, but I'm going to give it a good old, as Reef would say, college try here, because I'm going to give it a go. Punch it a little bit here at 05. Well, of course, we run into some levels there. So 05 and change, it rounds me up. I'm going to give it a go, see if we can get something down there. The stop on this, so we're long now at 05. The stop on this one, man, let's just go 22. What's the low on the day? 82? I don't know if we want to go that. Is that where that is? Yeah, 22. Okay, so we have to do that. It's fine. A little bit more than I was hoping for. 22.80 break on that one, and we'll wait. I'm going to buy some more, like if we can break below. I want to, let me double the position or so if we break below 23s. We could get like a flush on a break of 23 again, which may give us some of these prices, like this 90 price. I'm bidding 95 for double the shares. So if I have 100 right now, this order is going to be for 200. Then we'll have 300 shares of GameStop, and then we ask, what kind of hands do we have, and if they're made of diamonds or not? Because our stop on this one is going to be 22.79. So yeah, long the TQs right here, and attempt to go long. Well, we are long, and attempt to get more shares on GameStop. But the only problem with GameStop, we're going to talk about eSignal in a minute. The only problem with GameStop now is where's the catalyst? At least early, we had to move down, and then the buyers came in. Oh no, I'm going to sneeze. But for rate, okay, there go the TQs at least right now to the upside. We could maybe take some out on this. Oh my gosh, I am going to sneeze very, very soon here. But I think we can make it through. All right, I'm going to take something out. There we go. Take a 63 fill right there. But if you do scan that QR code right now, you do get that. Okay, here we go. Come on, TQQs. We do get that. You could stay there, Andre. Don't worry about it. I'm still going. Just getting out some more shares. All right, so TQ's making a move now through the high of the day. Scan that QR code, get 1 month free. These guys are the best, man. It's where I use all of my charting. I mean, we show charting on the show, but my other screen is loaded with eSignal. We have the scanners. I'm going to show you those right now. Oracle's popping off on the scanner, so is Tesla, so is Warner Brothers. Rigetti popping off right now as well on the scanners. Just a wide array of tools. That is 100% right. The back testing, everything involved with eSignal. They have everything. It is a little bit more expensive once you get going, but have software that you trust, that you can take with you, connects to over 50 plus brokers, trade off the charts, and don't worry about it. I like eSignal. I've been using it for 20 plus years. I want to thank eSignal for sponsoring the show, of course. Yeah, there goes the TQs, man. We're finally starting to put some damage on the board. We do have a better position now than we had before. We did just before we went over to the ad, and I was talking about GameStop. We got some more at 75.50. We talked about that. This level looks to be okay, but see, when you pop up there into 78s and so on and so forth, we got to take something out. So we do take advantage of that move up, but yeah. We'll wait. What's going to happen now? We can't just get out of everything immediately when we're into it. So let's see if this one wants to work. And if we're going to talk about the Nasdaq and the TQs and where there's some higher levels, this is why I'm long. This is 75.60. It broke through the 200 period moving average. Now we look to see where the next possible area of potential resistance would be. That's 76 even, and again, it's a triple levered product, so it's not going to necessarily follow exactly the Nasdaq key levels or anything like that. It could blast through those just because of the excitement. $76 though for me. We topped out into there. Anything up here would be great. If I can get a 76.60 on this, then we'd be really happy. So let's wait to that. GameStop goes an amazing 10 cents for us in the money. We're going to wait to see. First out though, let's not be stubborn with it. Let's get out at 20. That's where the 50 period moving average is and where we last popped through. So we'll wait to see if we can get that level. 23.20 for GameStop or bust. You know the downside play, we need to take at least 1-to-1 on this trade.
Yeah, this thing is squeezing. So I tried another Oracle. So we're at 202s now. So I tried a quick little short there as we kind of started to look a little weak above the 201s. But again, buying, kind of stepping right back in just above that 200 level for another push. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I gotta probably just look away. Wait for the next opportunity. The SPY is extremely strong as well. You can see both the ES and the Nasdaq, but take a look at the spider here as it continues to climb up. Look at that beautiful. This is looking very much like Oracle here, Sean. So I'm like, oh boy, if the spider again, I used to write this down all the time. Haven't really been doing this as of recent, but something to remind myself that you know, SPY is my compass. Sometimes giving me a little bit of that direction, and if we get a little bit of tailwind, making the trade a little bit better. So definitely the long is very much on here across the board. Again, if you look at the TQs, they're running. Nvidia is running just as strong. Oracle's running just as strong as well. So the tech sector definitely catching a little bit of a ride here, along with this market tailwind. Let's see what the sectors are doing.
Yeah.
Here is the actually pretty gray sector board here. Finance, retail trade, consumer durables, consumer services, transportation, energy, minerals, consumer non-durables, all relatively flat. Utilities, though, lots of strength, lots of green here. In health technology, the sector has been pretty strong this week. Let's talk about tech. Broadcom and NVIDIA trying to lift this electronic technology sector here, though, of course, lots of weakness in Boeing. due to the tragic crash there with Air India. Then we have the technology services sector, Microsoft and Oracle agree. And of course, Oracle with its earnings report, really good move there to the upside. And we've got Google and Palantir a little bit more red. So none of these sectors are necessarily super strong directionally. Everything's a little bit mixed. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've been seeing here in the market. I mean, I've chosen to go long on the TQs, and boy, oh boy, is that working out. And oh boy, Obi, to take one of your words from you, Marvell, a recent purchase of myself, right now up 1.4%, and just ticking higher right here. We'll wait for that 70 break. We'll wait for that to happen. We did get it sort of yesterday, right off the open. There, we only went to $70.20 there on Marvell. I'm long 64.90 in the PA, and we'll wait to see if that can get going there. About not that much in the money now, 7-8%. We'll see if we can get going a little bit more. But hey, man, we saw the momentum and switched it over into the Qs and bought them. So we just, we tried to buy the Nasdaq there, and we did it. We did it 3 times. We were able to get something out there at 80s now this time, as we're making a little bit back here on the day from what we had lost. And oh boy, man, sometimes getting out of your positions is the right call, but not flipping long was the wrong call. Look at NVIDIA go, man. Like, this is the thing. Put it aside. I don't need to be focused so solid on a name that we called wrong. And, again, fail. Like we can't go over the sticky note, ring the register, dollar club, spin the money all the time when it works, and then not acknowledge that when we had a 143 to 144 short listed here on the sticky note and it blows up like that, it's a trade that I take and I'll mark it down, obviously as an L right there. We've talked about it numerous times. The last thing I want to be is known as somebody that celebrates their wins and doesn't talk about their losers. I feel like for myself, I always have no problem telling you guys if I'm red or green on the day, red or green on symbols, and how much, and don't even sugarcoat it. I don't say, well, it's still in the pocket or this or that. Like, we lost on NVIDIA and we lost a decent amount there, and that's the trade, for me. So, that there's an L right there. We'll work on it. We're getting better on these TQs right now. We're going to see if GameStop wants to go, but this is the life of a trader. Sometimes you're going to put those up, and all we can do is talk about them and, look for that next trade. Quickly, Adara does have news. Want to check in on Voyager. Still not doing anything. I'm still pretty interested in this one, but I have leveled down. If it breaks 62, something to watch. I'm going to put an alert around 61.50 so we can see when it gets there and see if we do like it. So, all right, Adara, what you got?
With the stock-specific news, move on to the general market news here. T-Mobile, apparently we're seeing here on X, people are saying that there is a data breach. Apparently 64 million customer records. Bit of a move down for TMUS on this. Let's get to the market news, though. Right now we have yet another day of testimony here from Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary. He just said that he believes that we, meaning the U.S., will see these trade deals coming through very quickly. So Scott Bessent thinks there's going to be some acceleration with trade deal announcements. We'll have to wait and see, but market really nicely accelerating to the upside today. Back to you.
Very much. Definitely acceleration to the upside we're seeing. So Oracle kind of catching a little bit of a sell here, breaking a little bit of a trend, it would seem, and pulling back in. So let's see if that one can continue. I'm looking at that 200 mark here as we pull right back in. And like I said before, I definitely want to be a lot heavier on the backside than on the front side here. But yeah, very, very strong on the day. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of some action to the downside. 200 incoming as of right now. So we did get a push all the way up to 201.98. Last time we pulled back into 200, we kind of bounced off of 230s. We're kind of chopping and churning in and around there as of right now. Let's see if we can make a distinct push back down through 200. VWAP sitting all the way down at 196 halves. So again, beautiful strength and beautiful long off of the open, and we get that beautiful continuation market tailwind on our side very much as well. So let's see what this one comes into. Again, aggressive bid. It's about an hour into the open. Let's see if we hold that bid. Maybe, you never know. Buyers are still kind of in charge very much, not only just on Oracle, but in the market as well. So a little bit of a market pullback will definitely give us that tailwind again to the other side as well. So maybe that's what I'm looking for as of right now. But a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see if it actually breaks trend and we catch a bit of a reversion here. But looking at both the ES and the Nasdaq, extremely strong, have not broken their trends. Very, very very, very strong and long. So anybody, shout out to anybody who had those longs on this here market off of the
This
open
here
now.
market, that's great.
But it's not reflective of some of the other places where the long is not really happening. If you look at Apple, again, Apple's one of the top constituents. It's not doing what anywhere near what these futures are doing. Right, so it's like that's something to keep in mind here. Here's that 200 coming in here on Oracle. Let's see if we can kind of get below and sustain as well. NVIDIA could not crack that 145. Current day high sitting at 144.80s on NVIDIA as well. So just waiting on that one. Tesla consolidating on top of VWAP. That's interesting. Amazon just chopping sideways, nothing crazy. Alphabet as well, chopping sideways, nothing too crazy. Wow, this 200 hold on Oracle, man. Oh boy.
So we just had a, oh man, we missed our fill by 0 cents. Well, first of all, Rigetti, okay, hold on, let's talk about GameStop just real quick. So I was bidding 95s, all right? It went down to 95s. I was sitting on stupid gateway, I was sitting on Nasdaq, I should not have been. There was a, well, you can't see it now, we'll have to wait for it to come back, but there was some size at 95 for some random reason. So I don't know why it was there. I mean, I mentioned that I was at 95. I didn't even look to see if there was any, size on there when we were there. So now I'm at 96, and I did buy a little bit of 23 flats when we went back through there, right there. So I actually got 23 flats. So, it looks like I got 99 and change, but whatever, it's 23 bid. So right there, we'll see what winds up happening now as GameStop does flush and then go back upside. But look what's happening now. It almost needs to, it's almost a better trade to wait for it to break this area because you need this 50 period to crack lower, right? I use this to look at trends and whatnot. And right now you can clearly see once we broke it right there, the 50 period moving average, we did have a downside play since then. So nice move down. We did have, I took another out here at 78. I do have an out waiting at 85 at the high of the day. The high of the day right now is 83. Let's see if the Nasdaq can just have one more push up. Give me that 85, and then we'll be out of about half of our position on the TQs. Look, it's a good winner, man. It's about, right now, it's 24, 25 cents in the money. But, we started this back at 10:30. So right about here on the Nasdaq, 21.9 and change. And now you're at 9.50. So about 30 to 40 handles now in on this trade. But again, we're using the TQQs as our driver right there. So that's what we're doing right now. As you said that you use the SPY as your, what's the... Compass. I mean, the Nasdaq, I only really look at that, and sometimes to the dismay of other opportunities. The Nasdaq, definitely the tail that wags the dog, right? I mean, a lot of the names that I look at for sure is something. So, okay, yeah, I mean, people saying NVIDIA go boom. Yeah, NVIDIA go major boom. NVIDIA go boom in my P&L too. But right now, what is 195 or 195? There's 145. Did you guys see that side? It's hard to see it, but there is, it's moving around just, okay, here, it's going to come up. Maybe it comes up to level 2. But there is some size there. Anyways, you can see there's a 500,000 there. Just moving so fast that the levels are changing. But anyways, there's about 500,000 at least of lit shares. So there's a bill signing ceremony coming up right now with Donald Trump. So I'm sure that will be probably happening more during the midday show. But it's bill signing. I don't know what bills he's signing. I mean, we don't know either. So Adara waiting for that. So that could be very industry specific, right? We saw him sign the aerospace and the nuclear and all of that. So, maybe something there coming. I'm hearing in my ear that they've implemented maximum pressure now on Iran. I don't know exactly what that means. There's NVIDIA. We're not going to go anywhere right now. I just want to show people what this looks like. So a ton. That is more size than I even think, actually, on NVIDIA. I think there's more there than what I'm seeing. So I'm going to have to fix this sizing so we can get a little bit more here to show. But what exactly was that? There might have been multiple millions. And there goes NVIDIA pushing down off of that level hard. I feel like there was a lot of size there. Wow. Okay. Wow, Obi. This is why nobody else is showing you that. Like, that's for sure. No one else showing you a level 2 with all of these gateways on there. I think NVIDIA just saw the high of the days at 145. I think traders just saw I thought I saw 5 million shares, honestly, on the lit side of that. Not sure how many was there, but how cool was that? If you're, hit the like button for that, man. I mean, I'm sitting here in GameStop, I'm sitting here in the TQs and going over and finding stuff like that. There it is, man. Yeah, so big time rejection there at 145. Let's go over to Adara for money talks, and then we'll react to this level when we come back. GameStop, by the way, you want to talk about something that's interesting, being pushed down right now is because we're SSR. GameStop cannot go up with all of this pressure here. We may get stopped out. 2280 is our break level. Look at the pressure on this. You can't go. It can't go. It has to break through there. Right here it goes. Go, go, go. Watch a 91 break now and go shoot right back up to 23. As soon as this breaks, you're gone. Look at, okay, I think it broke back up to 23. I would think is incoming, but we got to get through 90 first where we saw that level. See? Now they're hiding their shares. So I don't know. This stock looks like it wants to go down. There could be a big move here. Apparently the report on Iran is troubling from what I'm hearing in my ear. What's up, Adara?
The maximum pressure thing on Iran, I just want to clarify, that didn't come from anyone in the administration other than the U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent. There is another thing here with Iran, though. Apparently, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff is going to travel to Muscat, Oman here on Sunday for a 6th round of talks with Iran. So that's the deal here with Iran. I also want to mention as well, this event with Trump at 11 a.m., it's not an executive order signing. He has one of those at 3:30 p.m. today. This is a bill signing. So it's a different type of event. Just be aware. Executive orders later today. Today, it will be a bill signing ceremony. So we'll have to wait and see what that entails. U.S. dollar, though, breaking recent support here. We're now at that 97.8 area. This is the level that we bottomed out at back in April. Let's see what happens here. We'll pull back to the monthly chart. We haven't been below these levels for quite some time. So definitely when you see this lower high that we've made compared to the high in September 2022, DXY looks a little bit weak here, to be clear. Let's take a look as well here at the CME FedWatch tool. We know that we're seeing now more chance of a rate cut in September and October rather than September and December. So that's a positive, of course, after this better than expected PPI print this morning. Right now, though, still large amount of participants expecting that we won't have any rate change coming through next Wednesday. 96.9% of participants expecting us to hold. Now, it's also worth noting here, July, we're still seeing heavily expecting no change either. 76.9% saying that we'll hold rates. When you get to September, we now have an increase in people expecting that 25 basis point cut. So September is highly likely to be the first rate cut. Now, 60.9%. Back to the guys.
Thanks, Dara, for all that rate talk. Yeah, so GameStop's still underneath 22.90. I'm not going to buy anymore. It's either going to work or it's not. My stop is 10 cents from here, which is fine, man. A 20-cent hit on this name is great, but not great, but reasonable. And then right into there, like really, if you're going to play this, we've seen this 50-period moving average continue to go to the downside. So if you're in, great, fine. But Chime is now indicating, so that's good. I just took out another. I'm going to show it to you in a second. It's indicating 41.50. So that's not that bad, is it? I think it was just 30. Yeah. Well, hopefully I'm going to be here. I still want to get to the gym there before it opens up. The last couple IPOs have opened up around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So we're hoping that that's something similar. I'm a little bit nervous about all this Iran stuff. I don't want to get like offside with it though. I don't want to like panic and completely get out of this short. But I'm starting to get out of a little bit more. You know, some talk like that is never really a good thing. CHYM. This is on the Nasdaq today. So there it is. Oh, now it's $42. So like I said, remember, once they're getting ready to go, you'll start to see some quotes in there. There's the TAP, the theoretical auction price. So right now, that's 100% accurate. Whatever this lands on, dealer's choice, that's where it will open. So as soon as the Nasdaq feels like they have enough liquidity to open the stock, and there it is right there, there's only, actually it's not opening with that much interest. We saw Circle was 5 million, I think, and even yesterday's Voyageur combined was, I think, around 3 million. And right there, right now, we're only getting 1 million is already paired off, and there's only 68,000 left. Maybe we get this one earlier than we thought. I'm trying to buy it. Yeah, I'll buy it with a few hundred shares and see what winds up happening. If we get a couple bucks on it, we get a couple bucks on it. So that would be good. Checking back on NVIDIA, that would be so cool to see that again at 145. So if we do get that, we'll come up with it. But for right now, we got to do one important thing, and that is what's for lunch.
question.
All right.
Been waiting.
On Thursday, June the 12th, are you a fan of beef?
Yes.
Okay. Well, today, although not, I mean, traditionally beef dish can get mixed and made with different meat for sure. But this is what it is. It is today beef chili. Okay. We had chili last week in lieu of something. So I'm not sure if that's what it is. But it's beef chili with crispy potato wedges. On top of this, we got diced tomatoes, sour cream, green onions, and shredded cheese. There with, again, a chef's choice salad. The salad has become really popular around here. Now, it used to just be Neil, myself. And now it is literally, there's 10 or so people that are salad. So we'll see what's on top of the salad. I don't mind putting a little chili on top of the salad.
Yeah.
You know, that's not horrible. We get a little taco salad action. But that is what's for lunch today here at Trader TV Live. So yeah, man. I think yesterday I tweeted out what was for lunch. Let me just have a quick gander at that right now. By the way, GameStop, we're starting to move, baby. Hold on a second here. Go over to my profile first. There it is. This was yesterday. So there was a little bit of noodle there, glass noodle there with some, this is what they call chef's choice salad. I don't know. And then we had some barbecue chicken there yesterday. I don't know if I like cold barbecue chicken like that, but it was okay. But that was what was for lunch yesterday. So we'll see about that today. So again, and being distracted again, there goes GameStop all the way to 10s, 13s, and we don't do anything about it. Like, ridiculous. I need to be over here and watching my actual trades. So there goes TQs and there goes GameStop. A little bit better than we were a couple minutes ago, that's for sure, on the name. And by the way, Chime is now 45.
Ooh, so we do have some data on it. Did it get unblocked for us, or?
Yeah, man, I was just showing this stuff on the screen, my guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it got unblocked, and now there's data there.
We got to get some of those shares. Waiting for that to potentially come in. We know that IPOs tend to happen in and around the midday, and yeah, that's going to be interesting today. A fintech.
Yes, exactly. Fintech IPO.
We looked through their S1 as well. They were talking about how they already have a consumer base.
Yep. Established company.
The established company. They make money. So let's see if they have strong sentiment coming into the IPO as well. I don't know if it's going to be as crazy as something like a Circle, because again, we talked about why Circle might have been as crazy as it was. We had crypto kind of near all-time highs.
Right.
We had strong sentiment, market strong as well. So yeah, a lot of good reasoning for the why Circle might have done what it did, but are we seeing the same kind of factors coming in for Chime or yesterday on Voyager? Probably not the same level of hype, but definitely something to watch out for. Again, we talk about those underwriters being pretty strong as well.
I just want to say I got to shout out somebody here at Geo. Or G, I've never seen the spelling of this name before. GHIO. Webull. I'm asking this because I'm more interested in this than anything else. Webull shows anticipated opening time at 11:20. I've never seen anything that's given an approximate time. So I'm just wondering, have you looked, was it accurate for CoreWeave or Circle or Voyager, Geo there? Because, and I just want to know if that's true. Again, like, I'm trying to go to the gym and I'm going to do that right now. I'm almost going to go regardless of that anyways, but I just want to know if that's something that you've noticed before in the past on that, or if anybody else has a Webull account that can tell me if that stuff has been true in the past. So anyways, no one's answering me right now, but if you guys do see that, let me know. And again, it's not for the whole going to the gym thing or anything like that. It's just for interest, because I'd like to get ramped up here. See, now it's 45.50. It just keeps on ticking higher, 45.60, higher and higher and higher here as we go on CHYM. Again, the new fintech IPO that I'm pretty interested in here, but I do want to be disciplined and I do want to get, okay, now we're getting ready. I mean, maybe Chime does go out right now, because we're getting pretty light on what's getting ready to go here on this IPO. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to stay for, and maybe today we don't, maybe we'll go a little bit later. 46 right now, 48 maybe as the high, as we continue to go a little bit higher here on Chime. There's 46 now. Yeah, the question is it's an estimated time there on Webull. So thank you guys for answering it. We don't have time. This time on here is market update time. So we don't have anything else. I mean, I could look to see what else is customizable here if I go to columns right now, but I'm not seeing continuous price, auction price, fair market value, near indicated closing price. Yeah, so I don't see anything like anticipated time. So that was my question, but okay, man, here we go. Let's go GameStop. Let's see what can wind up happening here, man. My day getting better as we speak. Oh boy, Obi, bye-bye TQQs. How come when it's 11:02? Oh yeah, Joe wants to be funny guy all the time. These guys owe us minutes. Check your watch now, Joe. You're gonna be owing us some minutes right now. Here goes the TQQ. This is why you don't mess around, man. No. Because Joe don't know that I can go on for the whole day. Yeah. And then Joe's gonna owe me 8 hours. So, but here we go. It's a nice upside move. We playing around, man. Everyone's tired of me. We're gonna get to the midday show in just a couple minutes. But there goes the QQQs as money go boom right now in the account. So far so good on that one. And then GameStop, let's go on GameStop. Maybe we get a nice little upside move here as we just got a good fill, man. We just got 12s there on GME. So we get 5s, 12s, and now we go upside. Next up for me, VWAP, or maybe 23.30. Let's see if we can get that on GameStop. I'm actually at 17s for now. I don't know why I'm there, but we'll stay there. And then we'll go to 30s. Let's go GameStop, see if you can get some action underneath you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, thank you.
We love having Obi on the show. I hope those likes are huge. There goes GameStop. Let's go make some money today, guys. It's the big show with the midday. It's Joe. It's Sharif. It's Adara. Me and this guy back at 2 p.m. We'll chat then.